And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it.
The OnSide Zone.
I don't care how you win a championship, dude. You can draft it, you can buy it, you can trade for it. Just win, baby.
The OnSide Zone.
You're not Aladdin rubbing the lamp and then Will Smith comes out and you ask him, hey, fix our dolphin problems. And there he goes. No, I'm sorry. It'd be nice if it was that easy, but it's not.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The OnSide Zone with a big O.
All right. All right. All right, let's do it, baby. Let's rock and roll. Ah, yes, I am full of just piss and vinegar, man.
Me too, man.
If I had, if I could let loose, it'd be special. By the way, both of these idiots know safety dance, okay? Just for the record. I knew that these guys, they sounded like my wife.
Not fair to Sean. He's still here, and he knew it from the jump.
I said both these idiots,
Well,
and I was
Kai's
talking
gone.
about Kai and you, because we were talking about
yeah.
you two young idiots.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
see,
I know
the
it.
bottom
I know
line
it.
is, I knew that they knew it, but they're like my wife. You know, my wife will know a song, and she won't have any freaking clue who the artist is or what the name of the song. Oh, yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, but she won't know. Like, you'll stump my wife on all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that they would know that goofy-ass song. I didn't expect them to know really, Men Without Hats. I figured they would know Safety Dance part, but not Men Without Hats. So I knew that they knew it. I mean, who doesn't know the Safety Dance? Who's not ready to do the Safety Dance? The Safety Dance. Oh, Safety Dance. Come on. We're all ready to do the Safety Dance today. Anyway, good afternoon. Welcome aboard as we carry you till 3. And then Alex Dono will take over at that point. If you want to get in, we got the lines open for you, 888-441-4623. We actually connect with our listeners, social media, texts, phone lines, we connect with our community. You know what I'm saying? Unlike this garbage-ass AM stations that are out there dying on a vine, doing virtual drafts and that kind of stuff. Give me a break. We've been in studio from day one. That's how we are here at OnSide Radio. Powered, baby. Strong. That's what it's all about. We got our polarized air filter. We got our masks on. We're vaccinated. We're doing everything right, bro. That's you do everything right and normal, and you'll be fine.
I feel like I'm you today. I'm filled with piss and vinegar. I'm on tilt today.
Yeah,
I'm close to fighting someone. Not you, but I'm close to fighting somebody.
Yeah, tell you, bro. Tell you. Gus 1388 is first in. Ian from Brooklyn is in the house. And I agree with Gus. Smash that like button, please. Very important. Might be the most important thing you do for us today. Outside of visiting one of our amazing sponsors and growing every day. And we thank you all out there for sponsoring and being a part of it. And by the way, if your business wants to be a part of a real growing sports station in town that's actually dedicated to the local teams, then please give us a ring here at OnSide Radio. Reach out to us on Twitter at OnSide Radio. We will connect. Ray is in, says, howdy, Orlando, everybody. Great time to be a Dolphins fan. Greer is un genio, hands down. I'm with you. Genio is a genius in Spanish for my Anglo friends that are out there. Matt Walker is in the house. Oh, looked a little impatient for a second. Oh man, you know that volcano that's erupting in the Caribbean. Yeah, that's a little bit of what was going on with me. Matthew Chaveres is in. Troy Ortiz, Bromar Smelly, Men Without Hats had a few hits. Moonbeam is a good one. Yes, exactly. They had a, but not everybody knows that one. You know what I mean? Everybody knows the safety dance. But they're good, man. And they were actually better than I expected when I saw them in concert. I don't know what it was, maybe 2 years ago now. At this point, it was at Dania. It's Howard Jones. Somebody can maybe tell me when exactly, but it seems like a while ago now because it's been over a year. I can't believe that I haven't been to an all-out concert in a year. Over a year now. That's forget about it. You think Pookie was hurting when he couldn't visit the Carter and, get on the Enterprise and get beamed up? I am worse than a crack addict right now at this point without concerts. Seriously, I am so hurting without live concerts. It pains me, man. Pains me. Seriously. And I'm about to bust out to go to somewhere to go to a live show just so I can go to a live show. I'm telling you. I'll mask up. I'm vaccinated. I keep my distance, and I enjoy the show. I can do that. Oh, damn, I wanted to be first as I've never been first. Well, there was a time the redhead on a church slept over. Okay, there you go. Dougie Fresh. Raging Dolphin Maniac says, happy Thursday. Let's go to draft night. Well, you better be there at draft night. We want to see all of you out there at draft night. Tony Segalis is in. Gus says the safety dance is great. I also enjoy the Sulu dance spoof version as well via George Takei by the Howard Stern Show. Okay, I gotta check it out. George Takei did a spoof. I gotta check that out. He's funny, man. He's a good dude. Anyway, all right. So got a lot of things to talk about today. Congratulations to the Heat. They took care of business against the Spurs. 107-87. They're 3 games above 500. Tyler Hero, 5 of 6 from three-point range, had 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. So what does that mean? I mean, listen, big picture means squat.
No, but
his
he
whole
tweeted
year.
He's back.
But
he's never left.
No. But was he hearing the rumblings? That's what I want to know.
Maybe.
Was that part of the motivation for last night? Will it trigger now him to get back on track and start to play? See, because Tyler had the success, the breakout, the rookie year, all those things, the moments, the scowl, the IG model, all of that stuff. All this stuff is happening to him. Taco Tuesdays or Hero Tuesdays or whatever the hell it is. And you can get your Chipotle bowl and all that crap. And then came expectations. And then comes the proverbial gun to your head. Now we expect you to take the next step. And you got to do it. Got to do it. Got to get it done. And he hasn't gotten it done. And so it's kind of been rumbling, kind of like a volcano that's building up. And it started to now explode. Like, yo, where the F is Tyler? Yo, why didn't he improve? And see, the worst thing for Tyler is he's got Bam on his team. The guy that takes it ultimately more serious than he does, okay, because obviously he just does. You can tell that he's just more businesslike. And he works on his game, and he improves every year. And so now that's the example. And so he said it. Tyler hasn't followed. Duncan didn't follow early on. Now he's kind of getting back on track again. And maybe it was the trade rumors that was hurting Duncan. I don't know. Whatever. But did Tyler hear the rumblings that all of a sudden he became a topic? He became part of the criticism. He became part of, yo, what's going on with Tyler? Why hasn't he improved? And was any of that last night that? And if he goes back to being inconsistent again, then we know it had nothing to do with the talk. But maybe, just maybe, he goes on a roll now. And maybe it's because people were finally talking like, yo, what happened, dude? I thought you were going to be the second coming. Thought you were going to be an all-star guard for this team. Thought you were going to be the closer, the playmaker. Thought you were going to be the guy that, ends negative runs against you and starts runs for your team. We thought you were going to be the guy that was going to complement Bam, and it didn't happen. They didn't even go after an extra point guard in the offseason. Why? Because they thought Tyler was there, ready to go. He'll help handling the ball. He'll help creating because he can do it. It's not like he can't. It's not like a year later we're thinking he can't shoot. He can't be clutch. He can't be the badass we think he can be. He can't handle the ball. He can't set up his teammates. No, he can do all those things. But he didn't. And so last night you saw Tyler, that the guy that we want more often. The guy that I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Because what you want and what I want doesn't mean anything. The guy that his teammates need. Because we all watch that when Kendrick Nunn is dynamic, the Heat are different. When Tyler Hero's dynamic, the Heat are different. They're much better. They're scary. Okay? Let's just be honest. They're scary. But the problem is, Nunn can't be consistent, and Tyler can't either. So you don't know what to count on. And you can't expect Spo to all of a sudden be Cleo, Miss Cleo, right? I see a good game from him tonight. I will start Tyler. I will bench Nunn. Tonight Nunn will rise. Tyler will fall. We will start Nunn. No, he's not going to play Miss Cleo, right? I did like a male Miss Cleo, okay? I'm sorry. Maybe it wasn't a good impression. What do you want me to do? I did my best, all right? So you can't expect Spo to figure out when the hell one's going to wake up and when the other one isn't, right? It's impossible. So I'm wondering last night while I'm watching that game and he's lighting, things up like a Christmas tree, I wonder if he's hearing the talk. I'm wondering if he's hearing Inside the Paint on Mondays between 10 to 11 exclusively at OnSideRadio.com with Ira Winderman and Ethan Skolnick. I wonder if he's reading all the articles that have picked up Inside the Paint exclusively on OnSideRadio.com every Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. I wonder if he's hearing the social media, fans going back and forth, talking about Ira Winderman and Ethan Skolnick and Inside the Paint exclusively Mondays, 10 to 11 a.m. I wonder about all of that. So it'll be interesting to see now against Atlanta, a game they need on Friday, because these are games, they need all these games, okay? There's no time to screw around right now. You know where they're at right now? They're in what the Panthers always used to be in every year, like they would bury themselves in the first half. Then in the second half, they'd be killing themselves just to sneak into the playoffs. Not that they were ever going to do anything in the playoffs, but just to sneak in. And it's not so much sneaking in; they want to avoid the play-in. You know what I mean? So they got to kill themselves now to avoid the play-in, basically. So it'll be interesting to see how this kid handles it from here on out. And maybe maybe this is what needed to light that fire. We'll see. But last night was fun. Bam did his normal, serious, dedicated self, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Butler, normal, professional, serious self, 18 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds. So the question is, can Tyler Hero get to normal, professional, and consistent like Bam, like Butler? Because think about this. If you get Hero or Nunn to be consistent, it gets pretty good now. And my Lord, Can you imagine if you actually had hero consistent and non-consistent off the bench? Wow. That would be pretty cool. Now you're talking about you can really scare the crap out of everybody in the Eastern Conference. So let's find out. We'll find out if he was listening, and we'll see how he responds to all of this. Miami Dolphin fans, you can join OnSideRadio.com's NFL Draft Party at Sports Grill in Miami, 11481 Southwest 40th Street, 114th and Bird Road, in other words. You can join me and Alex Dono for this two-night event, starting on Thursday, April 29th at 7:30, and Friday, it'll start at 6:30. Drinks and food specials and the best damn draft party in South Florida. Join us for a two-night event as OnSideRadio.com and Sports Grill in Bird Road bring you the best NFL draft party on the planet.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
I'm Ryan Seacrest. First responders are people who stand for a greater purpose. They will be there for you when nobody else is, to help you, your family, your community. This is their selfless promise. This is their sworn duty, to protect, to serve, to help. They put themselves in harm's way for us. They come to the rescue at times when we need them most. First responders are making enormous personal sacrifices to keep showing up for us and fighting the good fight. Nearly 70% of all firefighters are volunteers. That means when they get injured or quarantined, they may not have a way to pay their rent or keep their family safe and fed. No matter who you are or where you live, when you call 911 and ask for help, first responders show up. Now, let's show up for the people who show up for us every day and every night.
Go to firstrcf.org and make a difference today.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. Take their famous Boot Tour Challenge, and there's now outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations or pickup at 954-785-7565. So get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach to Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant.
Miami Dolphins fans, join the only real sports station in South Florida dedicated to what you want. The best NFL draft coverage on the planet. Join OnSideRadio.com for their NFL draft party at Sports Grill in Miami at 11481 Southwest 40th Street on Bird Road. This two-night event, April 29th and 30th, is hosted by Big O and Alex Dono, giving Dolphins fans what they crave: real draft coverage.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. Save it on your cell phone, 844-416-8123. No better place to send your comments, ask questions, win prizes. OnSideRadio.com, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Inter Miami fans, time to find out more about your favorite soccer team with OnSideRadio.com's IMCF Football Focus. Here's Austin Robillard.
Miami takes on the Philadelphia Union this Saturday at Subaru Park. The Philadelphia Union were a very worthy opponent in 2020, taking all 6 points away from both games played last season. One game came in the MLS's back tournament, one game came in late September, but it didn't matter for someone named Kasper Przelko, who Miami is going to have to worry about. Scoring in the first game, assisting twice in the second game, he is a man that Phil Neville, just like Chicharito, has to have on his radar if Miami wants to go out and win this game on Saturday.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search OnSide Radio.
All right, we're back. Let's see. Willie is asking, Big O, what is good, my brother? I'll be tuning into your draft streaming live. It's going to be awesome. Thank you. We will be streaming it also, okay? So, yes, if you can't be there physically with us in Bird and 114th and watch the draft with us and cheer on and celebrate our picks together and all that good stuff, I'm looking forward to being with people again, man. It's going to be fun. Mask up. Let's be responsible, of course. Enjoy yourselves. But I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, we'll be there. So thank you, Willie, for tuning in. If you can't be here, if you can't be there personally, really the best thing, if you could join us Thursday or Friday night, come on out for a little while and enjoy some great wings and all that good stuff. And I'm sure they'll have some drink specials and all that. Or we would love to, listen, man, We've all been trapped for a while, right? This is a great way for us to actually have an event together. I really wanted to go to Cleveland, but we're not there yet as a country. And like I told my wife, I'm so glad now that Genesis is going to come to America first for their final tour because I'll go to that concert. But, if you got to travel abroad, you don't really want to travel nowadays because there's still limitations. They've got bigger problems overseas. And so when you go to a new town or somewhere, you want to go with no limitations. And I was thinking about this. Are they going to allow us to bunch up around the bus and sing? They may not. They may be controlling the Hall of Fame by allowing only a certain amount of people in at the same time. So all of these things I thought of, and it just wasn't the right time to do it. I think by next year, when we go to Vegas, then I think we're free. We got our bar already set in Vegas. We got everything already set up because we were already set up for Vegas. So we'll just reignite all of that and have a good time out there. Lisa says, so bummed we are not meeting up in Cleveland. Was looking forward to it, but we'll be watching the stream. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. I wanted to go. Dougie Fresh says, oh, your Miss Cleo impression sounded more like the Count from Sesame. A 1, a 2, a 3. Yes. Probably did sound a little bit more like the Count. You're probably right. Too Extreme says it was great to see Hero play good. The spark that he created just ignites the team's momentum tremendously. Now he has to continue and build off that level of play he played last night. I'm with you there. Pat says, great. Now what do I do with my Cleveland Boom Boom Room draft tickets? They're still good. They're still good. They're still good. Those are like rain checks. You can come back after and enjoy yourselves. Did you guys see that story of Aaron Donald? Did you see that story of Aaron Donald and the fight he got in there, Tito?
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay.
Basically, the guy accused him of assaulting him, but he was actually defending that guy.
Right. Do you know more about that story?
I don't know. No, I think that's the limit.
That's the limit. You know about it, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it here for you. Because I don't know how much.
I saw the photo. I mean, the guy Buddy got his ass kicked.
Yeah. And I gotta show you guys this because it's funny. Let's see. Here we go. I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna just put Aaron Donald bar fight, right? So, the bar fight, I want you guys to listen to this. Aaron Donald got in some hot water sometime between 3 and 4 a.m. Sunday morning. Donald found himself mixed up in a brawl after hours on Pittsburgh's South Side. Okay? A few days later, a man named DeVincent Spriggs, who allegedly sustained injuries in the fight, announced plans to file assault. And apparently there was no assault. He was trying to break up the fight. He was actually being the nice guy out of all of this. Okay? What I'm trying to find is, did you see the name of the bar that they fought in?
No.
It's the Boom Boom Room, dude.
No way.
I swear to you, bro. I swear to you that he fought in a place called the Boom Boom Room. Okay? I am not lying to you. All right? I'm trying to find the article. Let me see. You got to find the early articles because that's where they mention it. and the name of the bar where he fought at.
In
And
the south side of Pittsburgh?
yes, and it's called the Boom Boom Room. Yeah, I'm serious, man. Serious. I laughed my ass off when I saw that he actually got in a fight in a bar, and it was called the Boom Boom Room. Yeah. Yep. Let me see if I put name of bar and see if it comes out. But that's, yeah, man. That's the funny part of it. Seriously. It was called Boom Boom Room.
Yeah, they keep mentioning in every article I've read, it's an after-hours club on the city's south side.
Right. They never mentioned the name.
The hell is that?
They never mentioned the name. But early on, if you saw the articles, it was called the Boom Boom Room. And I was laughing my ass off because obviously, you know, Mr. Cleveland has made it famous, the Boom Boom Room, here on the show for a while now, for over a year. Yeah, because he started with our podcast, by the way, before we started here. You know what? Let me just put Pit Nightclub Boom Boom Room. Here we go. Boom Boom Room, 4560. Where'd the damn address go? It's 4560 George K. Road in Pittsburgh. I'm not lying to you. Boom Boom Room. Seriously. In Pittsburgh. Okay? I forgot to mention this because when it happened last week, I wanted to mention it because I saw the article and then I completely forgot about it, and it's kind of, kept going, and it cleared him. Thank God that he wasn't really, they have a Facebook page. So Kenneth Cleveland, you're screwed. Look, Boom Boom Room. Look, Tito. Look. Okay? The Boom Boom
That's
Room.
incredible.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh. How about that? All right? So
They don't want to name it because they know it belongs to Kenneth.
Yeah. So I don't know, Kenneth. You got some legal issues with the people in Pittsburgh, bro. I don't know. They stole your name, man. They stole your club. I think you need to have a conversation with some folks out there. Okay? There you go. I didn't know how many of you picked up on that, since that's kind of a thing on, multiple shows, because I know Donna also has fun with it too. But I didn't know how many of you picked up on it if you read deep into the Aaron Donald situation, and that he was actually having a fight in the Boom Boom Room. And I don't know, Kenneth Cleveland doesn't like fights in the Boom Boom Room. I'm just saying. So they're asking if Kenneth Cleveland is a character witness.
On-side radio implications into the Aaron Donald bar fight is the last thing I thought I would be hearing about today.
Yeah, exactly. Big O, what do you think about sports betting, which appears headed to Florida in a deal agreed to by governor and the Seminole tribe? Look, dude, just make it happen.
Yep.
Just make it happen. I'm so tired of our state being so, we're slightly ahead of Utah. We wait forever to approve weed. We wait forever to approve sports betting and gambling and all of that. Give me a break, man. People are going to gamble and people are going to smoke weed. Just approve it already. You got alcohol legal, right? And alcohol's 1 billion times worse than marijuana. Okay, not 100 times, 1 billion times worse than marijuana. And it's a joke, man. We're just idiots in this state. And I get it, man. It's mostly from Central Florida and on that screw us mostly. We're pretty progressive in Southern Florida. We're 3 states, right? I mean, really, we're 3 states. Actually, we're 4. The Keys are 1 state, South Florida State 2, Central Florida State 3, and the Panhandle is a completely different state. We're like 4 parts. And 2 of them are just, complete screw-ups. And that's the middle part of the state and obviously the Panhandle. They're ass backwards. And they're the ones that are always bringing it down for gambling, for legalization of marijuana, for anything, dude, that's actually about fun. anything. They bring us down completely. They keep us, years ago, it was the old people. It was only old farts that would keep us down. Now, it's the backward ass part of our state, which is obviously the middle part and the panhandle. So it is what it is. What are you going to do? But eventually, I love sports betting. I have no problem with that. I am dying for sports betting to happen. Why not, man? Something else to do. Listen, you can lose control on anything in life. Okay? So this whole thing about, well, if we legalize it, then more people will have trouble. No, man, the same amount of people are going to have trouble. Nothing's going to change. All right, let's talk a little draft. Ian Cummings from the Pro Football Network will join us on the other side and fan-sided. Let's talk a little Dolphins draft next.
Now streaming online. OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com. Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
If you missed Man of the Match with Alex Dano, you missed.
And this happens in a lot of food polls, right? When I put out a food discussion, and I claim that one thing is better than the other, the people who are the fans of the thing that I don't like as much will always say, oh, you've never had my abuelita's tres leches. Well, no crap. I don't know your grandma. She's never invited me over. I hate that argument. It's like, oh, wait, you think tiramisu is better? You've never had my abuelita's homemade tres leches. Well, until she invites me over, bro, how am I supposed to try? You've clearly never been to Florence where they have great tiramisu, so don't give me your crap. You've never had my nonna's tiramisu.
Yeah, I haven't.
And you'll never have it. She's dead.
Oh, God.
You'll never have it.
I really wanted to.
You're SOL. She didn't save the recipe. It died with her.
Oh, no.
Man of the Match with Alex Dano on South Florida's home for sports talk, OnSideRadio.com. When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Sean Stanley hosts the Square Circle Digest.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. I'm the man.
Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnSideRadio.com. OnSide Radio continues to grow. To make your life easier, you can now find your favorite sports station by downloading the MyTuner radio app and listen to your favorite OnSideRadio.com host or catch a great Inter Miami CF match. Go to your app store, download MyTuner Radio, and search OnSide Radio, the home for the South Florida sports fan.
Hello, Inter Miami CF fans. Download the Drink AR app and play inside a first-of-its-kind virtual soccer stadium, hosted by Bodega Trevento and Inter Miami CF, and celebrate your passion for soccer from the comfort of your own home. Find the download links on our Instagram account at Treventus and get our wines delivered straight to your home with a discount for all Inter Miami CF fans. Discover Trevento, a shared passion.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. with an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
Miami Heat getting the win last night, 107-87 over the San Antonio Spurs. Bam Adebayo finishing with 23 points. Tyler Hero with 22. The Heat's next game is Friday night. They tip off against the Atlanta Hawks. Miami Marlins split 2 games with the Baltimore Orioles. They got a 3-0 victory yesterday. Trevor Rogers gets the win, going 7 scoreless innings. Marlins back in action tonight. Daniel Castano on the mound. They play against the San Francisco Giants in San Francisco. First pitch is set for 9:45 p.m. And the Florida Panthers welcome the Carolina Hurricanes for the first game over the next couple days. Puck drop slated for 7 p.m. tonight. With your Onside Sports Update, I'm Tito Bonacci. Coming up next, it's more of the Onside Zone with the Big O right here, OnSideRadio.com.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little NFL draft. Ian Cummings works for Pro Football Network and Fansided. You can follow him on Twitter like I and many others do at Ian_Cummings_9. Ian, good afternoon, my brother. How are you doing, sir?
Doing great, man. Doing great. It's crazy how quickly this offseason has kind of played out. You know, like I can remember 3 months ago, I thought I had all the time in the world to finish evaluations and stuff like that. Now it's already a week away. It's insane, man, how quickly it flies by, but a lot more to talk about as it nears. So an exciting time for sure.
Yep. Does it still look to you like the Dolphins set themselves up for Pitts or Chase, or do you think they're not going to end up with one of those two?
Yeah, so I think things are still looking the same there after they wound up in number 6 after trading back and then trading back up. I think they're in a good position to get their pick of the litter of those top offensive guys, because you think the top 4 picks might ultimately be quarterbacks. We don't know what's going to happen. The demand for that position is at an all-time high, so that could happen. And then I see the Bengals probably, it's either Penei Sewell or Jamar Chase. It seems like, you know, reading the tea leaves, you never know 100%, but maybe. So I think for the Dolphins, you should have a nice selection, whether it's Jamar Chase, if he slips past the Bengals, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, or Kyle Pitts. You know, I would take any of those guys. I'd be very comfortable with that. And then also maybe you're also in a good position if a quarterback falls to 6, where a team like Denver maybe wants to trade up from 9, you know, to get themselves in a better position to take one of the last quarterbacks remaining. That could happen too. I wouldn't trade down too far from Miami, though. I think you want to stay in position to get at least one of those guys. So you have a little small window, but you've worked yourself into a position where you don't really need to move much from now.
Are you buying the Mac Jones thing? Because I still have a hard time believing that Mac Jones is going to go that high. I really do.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, I see it, even though he's raw, but the athletic ability is so sick. And in today's world, in today's NFL, I can see you taking him and reaching for him because of the upside. Whereas Mac Jones doesn't really fit what you're trying to do in today's NFL. That's just me, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. And for me, it's a lot. It's a foundational, it's a philosophical argument where, you know, a lot ties off of this, but the simple notion is you want the guy who can do more, you know, and I'm looking at Mac Jones on his tape. Yeah, he's a good processor. You know, he really made the most of what Alabama gave him in that system, which they gave him a lot. I mean, a ton of talent around him. So the thing that scares me with him is he was always so comfortable week in and week out. You know, he had some guys that, you know, rushed him. That's going to happen occasionally, but other quarterbacks dealt with adversity a lot more often than he did. And to his credit, he made the most of his situation. But what happens when you take that comfort away from him in the NFL? What happens? I look at a guy like Trey Lance, that you said, Justin Fields. Those are the guys who have the athleticism and the arm talent to make those plays out of structure, off script. Like what happens if, let's say, you know, I always like to put it into a scenario, like 3rd and 10 in the playoffs, and the defense sends a blitz. Running back misses the block, and all of a sudden you're one-on-one with a pass rusher, and you got to get out of there. And you got to make a play. You got to make a throw off platform. You got to create something out of structure. I trust Fields and Lance way more to do that than I do Jones. And ultimately, me, at the end of the day, if I'm spending such a high pick on a quarterback, I don't want to look back in 3 years and say, the guy we picked is good, but he's not as good as these other guys. So I personally, man, I'd like to think that the teams picking that high understand that and they'd want to do that. But again, I mean, evaluating from the outside, we don't always get all the opportunities to evaluate these guys mentally and their character, whatnot. Me personally, looking at it from the outside, I don't see any character red flags with any of these guys, so I don't think that would be a tiebreaker, weighing Jones over the others. But we never really know, man. And schematically, there's a lot of nuances that play into it as well from team to team, so you never can tell. But looking at it from the surface, I can't fathom picking Jones over Lance or Fields. I think you have to go with the upside, especially at the most important position, a position that's always so consequential to team success.
And don't misunderstand what I'm about to say, but because you can't take this kid early. But if you tell me I'm taking Mac Jones early and I'm saying, okay, where's the upside here? Now, all of a sudden, in a way, it's kind of the opposite, but it's kind of the same with Lamar Jackson, that if you draft Lamar, you must commit to having the offense he needs in order to succeed, because it cannot be traditional because he's not a traditional passer. And so you've got to make it run heavy. So if you draft a kid like Mac, then you're going to have the wall of Montezuma in front of him, because athleticism is not going to bail him out. Now, if you tell me, I'm going to reach a little bit for Kellen Mond. And, I'm talking about reach a little bit, late first round, second round. That would be a reach for Kellen Mond, because he's probably more of a fourth rounder. But my point is, now I see what you're trying to do, because he has a little more athleticism. He's got a gun. It may not be that accurate sometimes. He may not know exactly where it's going, but I can see the upside because there's a little more athleticism, so you think you can work with it. With Mac Jones, dude, if you draft him, brother, you better be committed to having one hell of a line and one hell of a running game, because he's not going to bail you out with athleticism. You understand what I'm saying? That's the weird part about this whole Mac Jones conversation that I see.
Yeah, no, and I agree with the general premise. I think, when you draft a quarterback, you have to attune your offense to their skill set. You want them to be in an environment where they're comfortable at the end of the day. And every quarterback prospect is different. Like, if I'm drafting Trey Lance, yeah, he has a ton of throwing talent, but he's also a fearless runner, super explosive. I'd love to get him involved there. Justin Fields also has that size-speed combination, and, he's very good at extending plays and, just kind of putting the team on his shoulders. I would want to put them in an environment where they're comfortable. And Zach Wilson, too, he's really comfortable rolling out, making plays off structure, almost to a fault, where he does it habitually instead of sticking in a clean pocket, But I want them to – the bottom line is you want to put your quarterback in a position where they're comfortable. You want to position them best to succeed. And Mac Jones, it just seems like if there's a quarterback who's mobile and has the arm talent, it's a lot easier to do that. With Mac Jones, you definitely, like you said, the wall of Montezuma. That's an accurate analogy. You're going to need blockers who we can be comfortable with. Now, I don't think, he's not a statue, all right, but the fact of the matter is he's not an elite athlete. And, if there's a rusher who's closing in on him,
he's
toast.
Doesn't have
as much
he's toast.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to roll out and make a highlight throw. He'll stand in there. He'll be poised. He'll make a throw. But if you need more space, let's say you need to reset, you need to roll out, I don't think he has the explosiveness to do that. So, yeah, I do think that you need to evaluate the quarterback's unique traits. And looking at Mac Jones, I agree with you. I mean, if I'm drafting him early, I would much rather prefer the guys who will make my job easier, while I can also make their job easier by scheming the offense around them. So it's supposed to be a symbiotic relationship, and I don't think Jones really emulates that early on, which is why I'm a little confused that he's being considered at 3 overall. But hey, I mean, we're not the ones being paid to make the decisions. We'll see what happens. I would like them to draft Fields, because I think, me personally, he's my QB2. He's always been my QB2 through this. But I don't know. There's a lot of other stuff that goes into it, and we really don't know how it plays out until years down the road. So.
You think the epilepsy stuff is going to hurt Fields?
I don't think so. From what I heard, he has it under control. He has medication that he takes, and apparently you can outgrow it too. I'm not an expert in that field, so I didn't know, but it seems like it's something that he would get the pass for, because it didn't really impact him on the field in college. We'll see. There will be some teams. There will be some teams that maybe take him off their board because of that. Teams are sometimes weird with that medical stuff. Me personally, though, I think you have to look at the context and see, is he beating it? Is he managing it well? And it seems like he is. So it's not a big concern for me. It's just something to take note of. And if it's there, how can we best address it? But he's too talented for me to simply say, no, we're not taking him because of that. I think it's a minor issue in the grand scheme of things.
Ian Cummings, of course, from Pro Football Network and Fansided, joining us. Follow him on Twitter at Ian_Cummings_9. Ian, at 18, if Miami needs a pass rusher, what are you getting? Who's the guy for you would be the perfect pick there, value and realistic, that'll be there at number 18?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question because looking at all these mocks, man, it's hard to tell where the first edge rusher is going to go. Like, they could go early, they could go in the top 12 maybe, or they could fall out of the top 20. We don't even know, and, many people are saying that this is a relatively weak edge class. I wouldn't say it's weak. I'd say it's definitely unsettled. There's a lot of guys near the top where you can say, we can consider them, but is it a home run pick? I can't really say that for any of them. That said, I think there's a lot of guys in contention, man. It really depends on what your preference is. Jalen Phillips, the guy, I think purely from a on-field standpoint, Jalen Phillips has the most complete game, and he's a Miami guy, so I'm sure a lot of you guys know about him. But, he's super athletic. He has the size, around 6'5", 260, has the requisite length, and then he's also very technically proficient with his hands. So I think he has the best combination of athleticism, athletic upside, and then immediate utility as a rusher. The only questions for him is he has a lot of concussions. He was actually recommended to retire at one point. And then I've talked about this with some of my draft buddies, but, he has some interest off the field. And as we've said, as we've alluded to, NFL teams can be weird about that. I really like Azeez Ojulari.
That's my guy right there, dude. You got my guy right there.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think in terms of the Dolphins scheme, where he'll have a little bit more space off the line as an outside linebacker, he'd be very proficient, and he has good proportional length for his size. He's super explosive. I think he has really good bend, too. Not elite bend, but enough where he can corner, and his compact frame allows him to do that a little bit easier, and he's trending up, man. His Peach Bowl performance was out of this world, so I really like him. He has a really red-hot motor. A few more guys that I like, too, that I think could be considered. Kwity Paye. He doesn't quite have the length, but he's a really amped-up rusher, and he really corners well, too. He has some crazy agility times, and he's super dense. He's a little bit lower. He's more like 6'2", 260, I think, around there. But, a lot of we always tend to gravitate to taller players, and, with good reason, because height tends to have a positive correlation with length. But when you're lower, you have better natural leverage because low man wins. That's the old adage, low man wins. And the fact of the matter is Kwity Paye is built lower to the ground so he can get under guys easier. So he's certainly a guy I like, especially with his explosiveness. And then two more that I'll bring up. Well, actually, two more. One that I like and one that I don't like for the Dolphins. Joseph Asai, I really like. He's another explosive, long guy who's trending up, red-hot motor. And then Gregory Rousseau. He was talked about, I think, earlier in the offseason. Personally, looking at,
go ahead.
I love him in the right role. That's the thing for me. I think
you like him in a natural 4-3 is where you like him.
Yeah, or maybe I would like him shading into the 3 tech a little more often because he's built like an edge rusher, or not built like an edge rusher, but you look at his height, weight, 6'6", 260. The first thing you think of is an edge rusher, but you look at his length and how he plays. He shaded into the interior a lot in Miami, and I thought his best rush reps came from the interior. I don't really think he's quite the bendy, flexible guy, explosive guy that you need on the outside. I think he'd be much better as an athletic length mismatch on the interior. So I think maybe in a 3-4 defensive end scheme, or in a 4-3 where he can be an edge and shade into the 3 tech on occasion.
That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of right there. A guy you move around a little bit.
I think he'd be best on a team with hybrid alignments where he can move around a little bit. But as a pure edge rusher, I'm not sure. So I think the fits for the Dolphins are elsewhere.
Yeah, Phillips I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole with all the concussions. I'm terribly afraid of that because he had the 1 year and then he had all the other stuff go on. I think Rousseau's going to be a disruptive dude, bro. I really do. I think whoever gets him, they're going to see a guy that's just a force also. What about my boy Zaven Collins from Tulsa? Do you like him? Because I love him.
Oh, yeah, that's another guy I really like. And I know he measured in at 270 at the Combine, which is insane because he wasn't a pure edge rusher. He's more of an off-ball linebacker at Tulsa. But I think he has that versatility you would want for the Dolphins. I know in my mock draft I drafted Micah Parsons, who could fill kind of that Kyle Van Noy role, kind of an edge linebacker hybrid. I think Zaven Collins could do that too. He's very natural rushing off the edge with that size. But then also in an off-ball role, I really like how reactive he is, how instinctive he is, and he's physical too. He's a really good athlete as well. He tested very well, better than I expected personally. I don't think he's like elite on tape, but he's definitely very fluid and he moves really well for his size. And he's a smart player at the end of the day. He's really smart too. So I think he has that combination of immediate utility, versatility, which Brian Flores, I think, really likes in the scheme. And then he has that athletic upside too. So just looking at his size, man, it's really unnatural. It's so weird watching him at 6'4". He was around 6'4", 265 on tape, and he was still moving really well. So I don't think 5 pounds is going to make a ton of difference, but it just increases the upside for him as an edge rusher. Like, he's a guy, you know, he could line up at off ball at first and then rotate into the edge, bring some extra heat.
And he can hold the point, too. Now they're looking at it going, okay, this guy brings some power, too, so he can help us in the run game and hold the edge, too. I like Zaven Collins. I think I would love the Georgia kid or the Tulsa kid at number 18. I think they would be perfect fits for what Miami wants to do eventually. And it kind of looks, the way they handle the offseason, it almost looks like they're going to fill the running back and that pass rusher need here in these first couple of rounds. That's kind of how I almost feel like that. Like, I love their backs as their number 2, 3s, and 4s, but they need that one. I love a lot of their situational rushers that they have and rotational rushers that they have, but they still need to build on a young stud outside of Van Ginkel, and I think they're going to do that also in this draft. It almost feels like that's what they're going to do. And like you said, this isn't a deep draft. So it's not deep at running back. It's not deep at defensive end. They've got 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. You read the tea leaves, it almost looks like they're going to try to fill those needs in these first 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. You want to make sure that you want to evaluate accurately the depth of the draft at different areas and make sure you target those ones where you might not have the opportunity to fill those needs later on. You want to make sure you get those right off the bat. Now, obviously, you don't want to reach, but I think the Dolphins have done a good job, with their trades positioning themselves in the best way, and they already had a lot of picks. So they're in a good position to do that, and there are a lot of good players early on that they can capitalize on and make sure that they fill those needs so they don't regret not doing it later.
Follow him on Twitter, Ian_Cummings_9. Catch his work at the Pro Football Network and Fansided. Ian, thank you for taking some time, my brother. Look forward to doing it again and getting your draft grade down the line.
Yes, sir. The Dolphins have a lot of picks, so a lot on the line. We'll see what happens, and we'll be back for analysis right after the draft. So,
you got it. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate you. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Inter Miami CF fans, join us for every road game this Saturday, baby. We broadcast live from Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano. Join myself and Big O. We'll start the broadcast at 7 o'clock. Enjoy the delicious food, incredible house drafts. Inter Miami CF fans, your new home for every road game is Dangerous Minds Brewing Company in Pompano. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing.
Now streaming online. OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to 2 of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnSideRadio.com.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit moretoadhd.com for additional information. That's more to ADHD.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
If you missed the Sunday Sports Drop Sunday, you missed this.
Gabby, what the hell is a vertical penetrator, man?
A vertical penetrator, my friend, is Leonard Taylor. A vertical penetrator is Gerald Willis. You know, those are guys that just, like, you know, cause havoc in the pass rushing game. You know, like, it's turning into a passing game. You watch college football around the country. You look at Justin Fields, you look at Trevor Lawrence, you look at Mac Jones, all these guys that are just starting to sling the ball all over the place. And, you know, you think of pass rushers and you think of guys on the edge, but you also have to consider, like, you know, guys on the interior of defensive line that are going to just go get after the quarterback. That's the name of the game right now, is getting after the quarterback.
Sunday Sports Drop with Jazz Santana. Every Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Exclusively at OnSideRadio.com. This Saturday, Inter Miami CF visits the Philadelphia Union at Subaru Park.
And now Higuain trying to bend his run in behind. Flag is temporarily stayed down. Higuain is in at the square with Robinson. No square. Robbie Robinson has opened the scoring. The flag is stayed down. And Inter Miami are off and running in 2021. They lead the LA Galaxy by a goal to nil.
Join OnSideRadio.com as we broadcast live from Dangerous Minds Brewing Company in Pompano. Our pregame broadcast watch party starts at 7 p.m. Game time is 8 p.m. Listen to all the games by going to our website at OnSideRadio.com and download any of our apps. Follow Inter Miami CF all year long on your home for football. OnSideRadio.com.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
We're back. Final segment of hour number one. We thank Ian Cummings for joining us. Chris Hassel will join us in the next hour. We'll talk a little draft with him. We got a bunch of things to talk about with Chris also as we get ready. And one more. We're 8 days away, man. Well, 7 days, actually.
Yeah, 1 week.
A week from today. We will be at Sports Grill on Bird and 114th. Calling the draft, having some fun. Man, it doesn't get any better than that. It's going to be absolutely awesome, man. So looking forward to that, of course, and rocking out at the draft next week. Dono and myself. We'll have some guests also throughout, spread out. We will. I'm sure we'll try to pick and have some fun. I heard Omar Kelly talk about it this morning. We will definitely try to bother him each night to get his thoughts on the draft, and we'll have some other people that we'll be able to reach out to. So, you know, we'll have it covered for you. And obviously, Dono and I have done plenty of this over the years. So we'll have plenty of info and talk and have some fun. And we'll take your phone calls. We'll take your texts. We'll have the YouTube channel going, all of that stuff. So we'll definitely be set to rock next week. And please join us over at Sports Grill on Bird and 114th. We'll be out there on Thursday and Friday night for both segments out there and having some fun. Every Monday, Heat and NBA fans can catch the best hour of basketball when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host the Palette Rock City Inside the Paint show. Listen to two of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. with Inside the Paint for hardcore basketball fans right here on OnSideRadio.com.
OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Welcome to OnSideRadio.com. Broadcasting from South Florida to the world. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk.
This is like rock and roll with no music.
Follow us on social media at OnSide Radio. Miami Dolphins fans, join us for OnSideRadio.com's NFL Draft Party at Sports Grill in Miami, 11481 Southwest 40th Street, Bird Road. Join Big O and Alex Dono for this two-night event starting on Thursday, April 29th at 7:30 p.m. and Friday, day 2 at 6:30. Drink and food specials, giveaways, and the best damn draft party in South Florida. Join us for a two-night event as OnSideRadio.com and Sports Grill on Bird Road bring you the best NFL draft party on the planet.
Now streaming online.
OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The OnSide Zone.
And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it.
The OnSide Zone.
I don't care how you win a championship, dude. You can draft it, you can buy it, you can trade for it. Just win, baby.
The OnSide Zone.
You're not Aladdin rubbing the lamp and then Will Smith comes out and you ask him, hey, fix our dolphin problems. And there he goes. No, I'm sorry. It'd be nice if it was that easy, but it's not.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The OnSide Zone with a big O.
All right. All righty. Yes, sir. It's hour number 2. Welcome aboard to the OnSide Zone. If you want to get in, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. And I am told the Boom Boom Room is classy, upscale franchise, and we don't allow any riffraff by anybody in the Boom Boom Room. Aaron Donald is no longer allowed in any Boom Boom Room franchises. I don't know, man. Kenneth, I think you gotta look at that again. Aaron was trying to break stuff up. He was trying for stuff not to happen in the Boom Boom Room. In fact, he might be the best security guard you could ever have. Just saying. Jesse in Minneapolis says, okay, Big O, there's a live venue in San Francisco called the Boom Boom Room. Straight John Lee Hooker stuff. May not be there anymore, but it was across the street from the Fillmore. Wow. Did not know that. There you go. So we got Boom Boom Rooms appearing everywhere now. We're now getting all the skinny here on the Boom Boom Rooms. Big O, do you personally think Atlanta would actually pick Pitts instead of getting Sewell to protect Matt Ryan or draft a QB to eventually replace Matt Ryan? Otherwise, I see Pitts falling to us. Dude, I think it's been all a smokescreen. I don't think Atlanta gets a tight end at all. It doesn't make any sense. You either get Pitts or you get a future quarterback. One of the two. And to me, I still think they're going to take Pitts. And I think that's going to I still think they take Penei Sewell. And I think that forces Cincinnati to take the LSU receiver, and then Miami ends up with Pitts. And Cincinnati really should take Rashawn Slater. They should trade out of that pick, go down a couple of picks, get another team that wants to move up, and if they're smart, and then pick Rashawn Slater. If they can't get Penei, they should get Slater. But that's just me. I don't care about the Bengals. I don't give a rat's ass about the Bengals. But I saw that poor kid get killed. I saw what happened to Andrew Luck. I'm just saying, dude, if that's what you want to do, then go ahead and just, knock yourself out and let the kid get killed constantly. And what are you going to do? Just one of those deals. What are you going to do? I don't know. Just you tell me. That's where. What can I tell you, man? It's just. Yeah. Anyway, apparently somebody checked in about Ashanti, and it says, where is it here? Where's the somebody told me something about Ashanti. Oh, say, what's up, Big O? We need to make a trip to Cancun and meet with Ashanti. And so I said to him, Ashanti's IG is a blessing. And if you follow Ashanti on IG, you know what I'm talking about. Man, that woman put some amazing pictures up. She is a total smoke show, dude. Let's see, what else do we have? Jimmy Shore says, Jenkins and Hunt on the right side, huge holes for the running back and tons of time. They are violent offensive linemen. Samuel says she is aging gracefully. Yeah, she looks amazing. Yes. Yes, and yes, and yes. Let's see. Pat Nashville says quarterbacks almost always go higher than they should in a QB-heavy draft. I agree with that. Big O, Kenneth Cleveland is live from the Boom Boom Room. I am the owner and CEO of the Boom Boom Room Enterprises. Often imitated, never duplicated. Okay.
All righty then.
Yeah. Hey, man, he's got to stand up for the Boom Boom Room. Let's see. Ragin says it's going to be a long week until the draft. Dude, it's been a long couple months. In fact, I was just telling Tito this, and I think I was talking with Dono about this yesterday or the day before. We're talked out. We're talked out. Let's be honest. What's there more to say about the draft? You know? And after all this and who's going to go here or there or whatever, you know, yesterday Tito sends me this article, and it's like, in the end, it's all back to where it was from the get-go when they made this trade. And when they made the trade, I read the tea leaves right there and then. I told you this is all about Chase and Pitts, or Pitts and Chase, whatever you want to call it. But that's what they're going to end up with at number 6. They're going to end up with one of those two guys. They read the draft right. I know people are all there's going to be at least 4 quarterbacks in the top 5 picks. It's just, it is what it is because it's a desperate league. And I still think Trey Lance will be that 4th guy, not Mac Jones. I still believe Justin Fields is going to be your top 3 quarterback because Justin Fields is a badass. And you got to take a chance on a kid like that. You know, I don't know if any of these guys are going to become franchise guys. Although Trevor Lawrence looks like it pretty much. But Zach obviously has got all the skill set to be a franchise guy. Justin Fields has it all too. And so does Trey Lance, by the way. It's just really, really raw. It's like watching Jordan Love. Like, I love Jordan Love's talent. I would have never taken him early. Where they took him is fine because he's a project. Because he's got so many skills that you can't teach the stuff that he has. You can't teach his arm strength. You just can't. Can't teach the athleticism he has. And he'll make some throws that will wow the hell out of you. And so will Trey Lance. But they're raw. So you got to bring them along slowly. And as long as you're willing to do that, then that's fine. But guys like that aren't going to last long. They're going to be taken at some point in that first half of the draft. Where? I don't know. But I think with a guy like Trey in this draft, I think somebody reaches for him. And they take him a little too high. But I understand why they took him because the kid is, you know, the good Lord blessed him, man. I gave him serious gifts. Now he's just got to fine-tune them, and then he can become one hell of a quarterback. Just like Justin, just like Zach Wilson. All these guys have the skill set. But we are talked out. I don't know what more there is to say. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think Omar, he had a really good column recently where he talked about a lot of the Dolphins' kind of luck. I don't even call it luck, but just basically the fate, right? Like the Kyle Pitts Chase fate depends on Atlanta. Because we know the top 3 are QBs.
Yes.
That's not even up for debate. The top 3 are QBs. What Atlanta does will determine whether Pitts or Chase are there. Because if they trade out, that means it's 100% certain you're getting one of Pitts or Chase. If they take one, then you're dancing with danger a little bit on potentially losing out. But I'm like you. I don't see how you could see Joe Burrow's scar on his knee and say, you know what this guy needs? Another receiver.
That he'll never see because he's on his ass.
Which is why I say when you look at the Dolphins being the worst team in yards after the catch and say, you know what this team needs? another offensive lineman.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely don't need another offensive lineman. I like their line right now. It's just young. It just needs time. That's all. I like what they have so far. Let's see. Ashanti has nothing on Watson's girlfriend. She is smoking. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, she is definitely smoking hot. But they're both hot. It's, you know what it is? It's hot in different ways. Okay? And it all depends on your style, you know? So if you like hot and thick, Ashanti's your girl. If not, Jilly, she's beautiful. She's smoking too. She's the thinner version of it. But if you like curves and thickness, I'm not talking. She's not fat at all, not even close, Ashanti, but she's got her thickness to her. It all depends. You know, that's something I can't speak for everybody, but I am going to generalize and stereotype. Okay, but usually the Latins and the brothers are the ones that are attractive to women who are thicker. That's all. It's not like we find thinner women unattractive. We find them very attractive. But I'm just saying, the Latins and the brothers, you know, we have an extra appreciation for the thick curves. That's all. You know, hey man, different strokes for different folks. Okay? And so it all depends. You know, they're both beautiful in their own way, both incredibly fine in their own way. I wouldn't shame one for the other. I wouldn't diss one for the other. It's just different styles of women. That's all. They're all beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying? They're all beautiful. It's all, you know, beautiful women come in all shapes, sizes, colors, nationalities. You know, that's just the way it is. You have to learn to appreciate beauty in different forms and fashion. That's all it is. It's like what's the name of this big girl, Ashley Graham. Now she's a big girl. She's a knockout, dude. Knockout. You know what I mean? Mila Kunis. She's a knockout. Now she's skinny as hell, but she's a knockout. She's beautiful. You know, beauty comes in different shapes and different forms, man. That's all. You just gotta, if you're, you know, it all depends on who you are and what turns you on, what you find attractive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not the guy that is going to diss a thin girl for a medium-sized girl or a thicker girl. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. That's just not my style. You know what I mean? I appreciate beauty for women in all different ways, you know? So that's just kind of what it is. Dr. Orlando analyzing las mujeres. That's it. That's me, baby. Matthew Chavez says, I second that, Big O. Matt Walker says, I prefer curves, but nothing wrong with thin women. Exactly. Bromar says, Beyonce's my type. Bromar, you have such low standards. I'd like to hear the guy that says Beyonce's not my type. That's the one. That's the guy I want to talk to. Like, okay, really? Like, okay, what's wrong with you? You either don't like black women or you're gay. Which one is it? I'm not exactly sure. You know, not that, you know, it's your choice. That's fine. But you know, I would have a hard time understanding the guy that says, Beyonce's not my type. You mean perfection is not your type? Is that what you're saying to me? You know, that kind of stuff. If Waddle is drafted at 6, you think he'll take Grant's kick return gig? Yes, I do. I think he'll do the kickoffs, and I think Grant will do punts, is what I think will happen. That's because Grant is fantastic at punt return because he's in small spaces. And so he's the kind of kid that can create separation in a phone booth. All right? And so that's why you want Grant probably returning punts, and then you'll put Waddle returning kicks because now he'll have the open field and be able to read and then use his juice. Listen, if you're smart, you just put Grant and Waddle back there and you screw with them. Oh, yeah, you want to kick it to the right? Go ahead, Waddle's there. You want to kick it to the left? Grant's there. Go ahead. Pick your poison. We're going to burn your ass either way. That's probably what I would do. I'd probably, on the kickoffs, I'd put Grant and Waddle back there. On punts, I'd put Grant back there. That's what I would do. Because Grant is your part-time player. And Waddle will be your full-time player. So I don't want to put a lot of weight of the world on Waddle where he's handling all the returns. I would put him where he's only handling half of the kick returns because they're going to have to pick their poison. You want to kick it to one of the best returners in the league the last 3 years in Jakeem Grant? Or do you want to kick it to the new kid that is going to become one of the better returners in the league in Jalen Waddle? Pick your poison and kill him. So that's probably what I would do. Put both of them out there on kick return. Okay? Oh, who's the hottest skinny girl that you like? Hottest skinny girl. Man. Hottest skinny girl. I'll tell you, for a while, what was the name of that? She was in Desperate Housewives, La Latina. What's her name? Man, she's really cute, and she's got a smoking body, dude. What's her name, bro? Mexicana. Damn it. Desperate Housewives. Come on, man, help me out. Really curvy. Somebody help me.
Eva Longoria?
Eva Longoria. That's it. That was one skinny girl that was like, pero Latina, you know. So that's, she's skinny, but she's got them curves. That was one. Trying to think of a young, skinny girl that I find really attractive. They got to be curvy because I'm not really into the skinny bone, barely any ass type of look. Damn. Trying to think of skinny and man, I got to think about that one. I need to think about that one. Let me marinate that one there as skinny. The Eva Longorias are coming in. Big O, Grant is a field position god. That's an essential key in a game. I know. I'm with you. But if you add Jalen Waddle, I'm gonna add him to that mix too, and just do all kinds of damage. I love Jakeem. I'm a huge Jakeem Grant guy. You don't put Waddle at returner because that's why you have Jakeem Grant on the team for. No, I would put Waddle and Grant at kick return. Grant would be my sole punt returner, but I would put Grant and Waddle back there at kick return because that way you can't corner kick, you can't coffin kick or whatever you want to call it to the team, because if you have him in the middle and then you kick to the left because you want to corner him, he's now got to run over there and catch the punt. But if you put Waddle and Jakeem on each side, now you can't hide. There's nowhere to hide. So that's why I would do that. Okay? That would be me. Every day, by the way, at OnSide Radio, our hosts sit down at the round table to tackle the most important local or national sports headlines. The round table is podcasted daily. Search OnSide Radio on all platforms. Subscribe, rate, and review to listen to all kinds of station segments. OnSideRadio.com is the home for South Florida sports.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Big O for M&S Air Conditioning. You know, air quality in your home and business is more important than ever. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning and let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit. Folks, it attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. With stellar customer service, answering your call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. For more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans, visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
At OnSideRadio.com, we chirp all day and night. It's time to do some more chirping with David Dwork at our Chirping the Cats report.
The Panthers are riding high, winners of 3 straight and with points in each of their past 5 games. But now they'll face perhaps their toughest challenge when they open a 2-game set against the Carolina Hurricanes at BB&T Center. Florida and Carolina enter tonight's game tied atop the Central Division standings with 65 points apiece, but the Hurricanes have 2 games in hand on the Panthers, which makes picking up wins during this week's matchup that much more important for Florida. The Panthers are hoping to get defenseman Mackenzie Weegar back in the lineup tonight after he missed Florida's past 2 games with an upper body injury. Patrick Hornquist, who was held out of Tuesday's game for maintenance reasons, should also be back on the ice tonight. The Panthers come into tonight's game with things chugging right along, having won 3 straight games and riding a 5-game point streak. Carolina has kept stride with their division rivals, picking up points in 4 straight games and 8 of their past 9. The Hurricanes have also had Florida's number, holding a 5-0-1 record against the Cats this season.
Keep up with the latest on the Florida Panthers by subscribing on most platforms by searching OnSide Radio, your home for South Florida sports.
It's toast. Smartest thing I did last year? Called B&T Windows and Doors and had PGT custom windows and doors installed in my house. Listen, it's spring. That means before you know it, we'll be hearing about the tropics churning. That means you need to get your home and family protected today. Call B&T right now and they'll get you installed ASAP with the best in the business, PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126 or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S. Tell them you heard about them on OnSide Radio.
This OnSide Rewind is brought to you by the finest racks in the business, Pallet Rack City.
All righty. Welcome back. We take you, of course, till 3. You know, this woman there put out a question on Twitter, which I found it kind of insulting in a way. I found it, I don't know, maybe she's just trolling or something, but she put, do men actually listen to music by female artists? And
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's a stupid question, man. You know, I tweeted back to her, well, yeah, dude, like Joan Jett and Hailstorm and Heart and Alanis Morissette and the Cranberries, Dorothy. I mean, you know, I could just go on and on and on and on and talk about Janis Joplin and talk about all these amazing artists. Who gives a rat's ass if somebody is male or female? I love Sheryl Crow.
Georgia Smith, Snow Allegra.
I love Sheryl Crow, dude. You know, it's like, really, is that what we're talking about? Like, why wouldn't you love, you know, female voices, female musicians? In fact, I mean, if you're going to be that sexist, that you're going to not follow somebody because of their, you know, because she's female or because they're gay or whatever. I mean, give me a break, dude. Music is music. Who gives a rat's ass? So I just found it like, are any men out there really, you're not listening to something that's made by a woman because it was a woman that did it? That would be the reason why? That's sad, dude. That's sad. So you're cheating yourself out of rocking out to Heart or Hailstorm. You know, whether it's classic rock or new rock, whatever. I just found that to be, you know, a really just terrible, terrible question. But anyway, I just, you know, Just crazy. In this moment, yes, Maria Brink. Is it Brink or Blank? Maria Blank, right? Is it what? In this moment, I'm not sure if it's if it's Blink or Blank. In this moment, band. Let me see. Where am I? Maria Brink. It's Brink. Yes. And what a voice, right? Maria's got this voice, and her stage show is, wow. It will trip your ass out, okay? Like big time. Big O, I have some inside information in Houston. I have a friend that works for them, and he's telling me Deshaun Watson is going to San Francisco for the 3rd pick and Boza and future picks. Daniel Amador. Daniel, your insider, I think, is all full of crap. Check it. His eyes are probably brown, too. I don't think he gets traded right now, dude. He's not going to get traded by this week. They have court to take hold here. So until the court cases are heard, until everything happens, nobody is going to trade for the guy, because what if he's found guilty of sexual assault and then you traded for the guy? Daniel, you're a little bit naive to believe that it's going to happen by next week. That's one. And two, you're also naive to think that you're actually getting any kind of inside information from something like that. It just makes no sense. Nobody is going to touch the guy at this point in time. You have to, until they're found not guilty, or until they're sure, even if it just ends up being a he said, they said, that won't be enough. So then they can move on. But that's not going to happen till either deep into this offseason or by next year. Something like that. I don't think he goes anywhere by next week in the 3rd pick of the draft. So I would say that info is terrible info. Hey, if you watch Desperate Housewives, they need to take your man card from you. Well, I guess I did watch it, bro. I'm sorry. I was watching it with the wife. I guess I get no man card. Don't you get your man card taken anyways once you get married? I'm going to be happy regardless of who the GM picks, because he's on the right track. I'm with you there. Beth Hart rocks. Uber Bean says, love her. She's hot as hell. Oh, you're talking about Maria Brink? Yeah, Maria Brink has got some curves. I'm going to tell you, I think she's Latin, by the way. I think so. I want to say, let me see. Maria Brink, American songwriter, best known as frontwoman for heavy metal band In This Moment. The top personal life, when she was 15, got pregnant. Her son Davidson has supported herself and her son. She also helped her mother overcome drug addiction. Brink is a vegetarian and active with PETA. She's also an aspiring artist, painter. I did not know that she was in a relationship with Devil Driver bassist Jonathan Miller. Okay, and she was born in New York City. Okay, I don't know why. I think somebody told me that she was actually Latin. I don't know. I got to check out more of her in depth. Who are her parents and all that good stuff. But yeah, she's an interesting cat. I will say that. Hell of a voice, dude. You got to YouTube a duet she did with Rob Halford from Judas Priest. Two out of the world voices to get together and sing. That's pretty good stuff. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. Chris Hassel from CBS Sports. Let's talk a little draft. We do that next.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation, and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
If you missed Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard, then you missed this.
Beckham and Moss made it seem like it was the most important thing in the world that they had to talk about the academy and bringing up players from the academy to play for Inter Miami. And, well, they've not only done it, they've now done it in abundance. First, it was Felipe Valencia. And in a question asked about Felipe Valencia, David Beckham specifically mentioned another name in Ian Frey. This was now, in hindsight, a complete foreshadowing of what was to come this week, because Ian Frey has now signed as a first-team player for Inter Miami. Ian Frey also signed alongside his former teammate from Fort Lauderdale CF, Edison Ascona.
Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard every Saturday 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively at OnSideRadio.com. This Saturday, Inter Miami CF visits the Philadelphia Union at Subaru Park.
And now Higuain trying to bend his run in behind. Flag is temporarily stayed down. Higuain is in at the square with Robinson. No square. Robbie Robinson has opened the scoring. The flag is stayed down. And Inter Miami are off and running in 2021. They lead the LA Galaxy by a goal to nil.
Join OnSideRadio.com as we broadcast live from Dangerous Minds Brewing Company in Pompano. Our pregame broadcast watch party starts at 7 p.m. Game time is 8 p.m. Listen to all the games by going to our website at OnSideRadio.com and download any of our apps. Follow Inter Miami CF all year long on your home for football. OnSideRadio.com. Catch a South Florida staple every afternoon as Alex Dono hosts the Man of the Match. Dono covers everything from football to football to MMA. Tune in to one of the most complete sports shows in the country with Man of the Match with Alex Dono from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. every weekday, exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
Miami Heat getting the victory last night. They win 107-87 over the San Antonio Spurs. Heat now 31-28 on the year. They get the Atlanta Hawks on Friday night. Tip-off is slated for 7:30. Trae Young likely doubtful for that game following a gruesome injury suffered last night. The Miami Marlins split 2 games with the Baltimore Orioles. 3-0 victory yesterday for the Marlins. Trevor Rogers picking up the win in 7 scoreless innings. Marlins are back at it tonight. Daniel Castano is on the mound against the San Francisco Giants. First pitch slated for 9:45 p.m. And the Florida Panthers are back on the ice tonight. They take on the Carolina Hurricanes for the first game over the next couple days. And then don't forget, folks, Saturday, Inter Miami travels to take on the Philadelphia Union. Join Big O and Alex Dono at Dangerous Minds Brewing for the pregame show starting at 7 o'clock. And stay to listen and watch the match with Chris Whittingham, Thomas Rongan, and Fernando Fiore with the call at 8 p.m. right here on OnSideRadio.com.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAssDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody Ass family. Dr. Moody Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAssDental.com.
I like this one. This is good intro music right here. I feel like Maria Brink is going to come in singing right now. feel like Glenn Tipton and KK Downing are jamming here, and Rob Halford's about to sing. It's the kind of feeling I'm getting right now. Maybe Chris Hassel will start singing right now. I have no idea. I mean, he is a host at CBS Sports. He does play-by-play for Stadium. Maybe he's also a singer. Chris, are you also a singer? Just checking.
You don't want to hear me sing, but you can ask my co-hosts here. I do sing. It's just I usually like the Meow Mix song from the Meow Mix commercial, stuff like that. Nothing that you would enjoy. I can guarantee you that.
By the way, you can follow him on Twitter at Hassel_Chris. Follow him there and catch him, of course, at CBS Sports and Stadium. So let me ask you, are you buying Mac Jones? Because I'm still not buying that somebody traded up all those picks to get him at number 3. I'm just not buying it, dude. I'm not.
Yeah, it's so tough for everybody, and it seemed like it was a foregone conclusion that it was going to be Mac Jones at number 3, and then all of a sudden people started saying about a week and a half ago, I don't know if this passes the smell test. And then you see Justin Fields kind of rising up the boards on, who you can bet who goes number 3 in the draft. And Mac Jones was a pretty overwhelming favorite for a while. And then yesterday, Justin Fields was actually the favorite over Mac Jones. And then today it went right back at our William Hill Sportsbook. It's Mac Jones, a slight favorite over Fields. And I don't know, but I do think that if you're going to make that trade all the way up to 3, you would think at the time you made the trade, you know who you want. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe the 49ers are still deciding. I don't know. It's weird, though.
Yeah, I'm with you there. What do you think Miami ends up with since we're here in South Florida and they're at 6? I've been saying right from when it happened, and I'm not changing right now, Chris, that this has been all about Pitts and Chase, and I still think they end up with Pitts or Chase at number 6 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I think it'd be great if you could land Pitts, but with what I've been hearing from our draft guys is Pitts is going to be the first non-quarterback drafted, and he might go as high as 4 to Atlanta. And if that's the case, then it's probably Jamar Chase or maybe even Jalen Waddle. I saw one mock draft today where Pitts went 4 to the Falcons and Chase went 5 to the Bengals. And so the Dolphins ended up with Jalen Waddle, who's, still good, but a step down from Jamar Chase. I mean, if you can get Kyle Pitts, that'd be incredible. But you might have to trade up to number 4 to get him. I mean, is that something that the Dolphins fans want to see? I'm not sure what you'd have to give up to do it, but it seems like Pitts is going to be the first non-quarterback off the board.
And if Pitts or Chase go to the Bengals and they don't take Penei Sewell after watching that kid take a beating to the point that he ended up with the knee injury, and after watching Andrew Luck get his ass kicked to the point that he said, "Bata, I'm done. I'm over. I'm out of here, bro. I'm pulling a Calvin Johnson. I'm done." This is a new thing now, and NFL teams better realize it. You're paying these guys so much money, they can leave early nowadays, okay? They're going to have plenty of money in their pockets. To me, that would be so Bengals if you don't get Penei Sewell and take care of what you're – now, if he goes to, Atlanta, you got no control over that. Then I'd trade down slightly if I'm them and still draft Rashawn Slater. I don't know how you don't take a lineman if you're the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? After all of that, and that kid's going to come back and take another beating. You could take a receiver, but if he's on his ass, he's not going to find that receiver downfield.
Right. Yeah, you got to protect Joe Burrow, and I think that the majority of the drafts that I've looked at and the people I've talked to, they cover the draft. It does seem like they would go offensive lineman there with Penei Sewell, but you see these mock drafts, and a lot of them are from the same people week in and week out. So you kind of get locked into what you think is going to happen, and then all of a sudden the draft night happens, and the dominoes don't fall the way you think they're going to fall, and everything changes. That's what I'm kind of trying to avoid this season, because I feel like I've gotten into that the last few years where I'm just locked. Okay, it's going to be pretty much these guys in the first 8, and then these guys will be available 9, 10, 11. It doesn't always happen that way. But I looked at about 3 or 4 different mocks from our experts who've been doing this, all year long. And it seems like the Dolphins are going to go pass catcher 6 and edge at 18. Jalen Phillips could be there. Aziz Ojulari is also another guy there. And in one of the mocks I saw, they actually had the Dolphins grabbing Najee Harris at number 36 overall. So, there's so many possibilities. I know it's got to be so exciting for Dolphins fans because, this is it. This is what you guys have been waiting for, and an opportunity with 4 picks in the top 50 to put yourselves over the top. It really is going to be interesting to watch on Thursday and Friday.
Chris, is there a guy that's going that is a first-round pick, but in your eyes he's still kind of under the radar and people aren't talking enough about him? And who is it?
Somebody that is a first-round pick?
Yeah, somebody that, people know he's going to be somewhere in that first round, but they're still not talking enough about him, and you think he's going to be a hell of a player because I know you cover college football too.
Yeah, I feel like this guy probably won't be a first-round pick, but the name that jumped out was Davis Mills, the quarterback at Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
He's somebody that our guys have been talking a lot about lately, and Pete Prisco in his latest mock actually had him going number 20 to the Chicago Bears, which would be a 6th quarterback taken in the first round.
Wow.
He's somebody that I think he's just really intriguing to the draft scouts and our draft experts because he's only played in 11 games. We've seen that go the other way. Mitch Trubisky was kind of like that and had some people fooled. But I think there's a lot of upside with him. And, a guy that's kind of slid down that we weren't expecting to is Kyle Trask. We were thinking he was going to be a first-round pick, and Mac Jones would be a 3rd or 4th-round pick. And those guys have kind of flip-flopped. So I think Mills is definitely one of those guys that could surprise people and be picked a lot higher than you would think in the draft. I don't think he's going to go first round, but I think there's a chance that somebody like the Chicago Bears pulls the trigger on him.
Okay. All right. That's a name that I have not heard going that early in the draft. I've heard people that like that like Mills. I've heard people that like Kellen Mond, also from Texas A&M. A lot of people view him as an interesting type of project also. So I've listen, it's a quarterback-starved league, man. So you and everybody else knows, Chris, that they're going to reach for guys, man. That's why Blaine Gabbert gets taken early and Bortles and all these other guys, they get taken a little earlier than they should. Even a Mac Jones, who really doesn't fit what you're trying to do in today's, NFL, where you kind of need mobility to move around a little bit and do different things. It's there is always those guys that they're going to reach for because it's a quarterback league.
And I'm a Bears fan, so I know that all too well. And I, going into the season, when you're a team like the Bears and you're just with a journeyman quarterback like Andy Dalton, what do you really have to root for? You either want to draft a quarterback and take a chance on him high or kind of tank and end up with really good draft picks like the Dolphins were able to do. I work with Brady Quinn on a daily basis, and I was talking with him yesterday about his draft experience and how much things have changed since he was drafted it was around 2006, 2007. I can't remember the exact year. But I remember he was in the green room waiting after Jamarcus Russell was first off the board.
That was the Ted Ginn draft, my brother, because I was doing the show inside the Dolphins bubble. Jim Mandich was with me. The late, great Jim Mandich was broadcasting with me. And all of a sudden, Brady started dropping. And we thought Brady was going to go before even Miami picked. And so then all of a sudden, people started cheering for Brady. And the pick comes, and they choose Ted Ginn. And, dude, everybody in the bubble was going nuts. They were booing the hell out of Cam Cameron. He was our coach at that time. And, people were like giving him the thumbs down, and he's like telling people, hey, let's turn that thumb upside down. You all are going to love Ted Ginn and his family. And all of a sudden that became, the joke about, hey, we drafted Ted. We didn't only draft Ted Ginn, we drafted his family too. And
His
all
whole
that.
family.
Yeah, it was just, in the end, the funny part, we were talking about this a couple of days ago. He turned out to be a solid receiver for his career, actually. He actually had a good career. He was never going to justify the 9th pick in the draft, but that's not his fault that he got taken 9. But he justified that he was a pro, and he was a good pro for a long time.
And, what I was kind of getting at was that Brady waited all the way into the 20s.
Yeah.
He was drafted 22nd, and he was the second quarterback off the board. And it just goes to show how much things have changed just in 15 years. That was 2007. So 14 years ago, only one quarterback was taken in the top 20 of the draft. I feel like that is never going to happen again. Because even if the talent is lacking, there are still going to be teams out there that need a quarterback that are reaching and hoping. And this season, we're going to get at least 5 quarterbacks. They're probably going to be drafted in the top 10. The record is 6. I don't know that we'll get there. Davis Mills, maybe, like we talked about, but 5 quarterbacks in the top 10, maybe even top 8. It's crazy.
So let me ask you a tough question. Who's the guy you would stay away from?
Mac Jones.
I agree.
I don't. He was comfortable all season. He never had to take a big hit. He rarely ever had to get out of the pocket. He had 2 of the best players in football. Actually, I'm going to say 3 of the best when you factor in Najee Harris. He had the 2 great wide receivers and Najee Harris, who was able to catch it out of the backfield. Great offensive line. Maybe he'll be good. Maybe he's kind of a throwback.
Don't you feel
he'll be good? But
don't you feel he has to end up like in a Tennessee-like situation, a super dominant running game, an excellent offensive line, a couple of edge weapons, and then he'll be fine because he doesn't have to necessarily carry it. He just has to manage it overall, kind of like what Tannehill has to do there. Just manage it overall because obviously you've got those monsters in front of you. And so that's, I almost feel like if you don't have that kind of a situation for Mac Jones, I was talking with another guest earlier. When you draft Mac Jones, you have to have almost a Lamar Jackson attitude that you must sell out for that player and do everything that he needs in order to succeed because in Mac's case, he has athletic limitations. In Lamar's case, he has passing limitations. So you've got to make sure you're a dominant running team in order for Lamar to succeed. With Mac, man, you better give him time and you better give him a monster, running back so you can take a lot of pressure off of him. Almost like that.
Yeah, and maybe he'll surprise all of us and he'll go out and he'll show us that he can be a great NFL quarterback. But if there was one guy, and I guess I don't know a ton about Trey Lance. That's another guy we just didn't see a lot of. He didn't play a lot, and he was playing, FCS football with North Dakota State. I see a potential there, and that's the thing. I think the ceilings are higher for all the other top-tier quarterbacks compared to Mac Jones. And when it's a guy who's never really been uncomfortable on the field in the pocket, it's somebody that I wouldn't want to use a top pick on. And I was actually relieved that the Bears didn't, show that they were going to trade up for him. Although he'd probably be better at this point than Andy Dalton. At least it'd give us something to look forward to in the season. But I don't know. I'm not sold on him, but at the same time, I'll be interested to see, how he does, because there are some guys there are always guys that you just can't see succeeding because of a certain situation in college, and they go out and they totally prove you wrong. But is he the guy? I don't know.
All right, I expect 4 quarterbacks to go, so I think the Dolphins read it right, and I think it'll be Pitts or Chase with them at 6, but let's have a little fun now. Let's say the 3 quarterbacks go, and Pitts and Chase go. So, who's that third playmaker in your eyes? Are you going Smith or Waddle if you're the Dolphins at 6? What are you doing there, Chris?
I think it's Jalen Waddle. The experts that I talk to that watch tape day in and day out, they just feel like Waddle is a step above Devontae Smith, despite what we saw on the field last season. And I think the reason that he's just a step above is just the measurables, right? He's Waddle is 5'10", 180, 185, where Devontae Smith is getting knocked because he's only 160, 165. And when talking to these experts, I mean, they point out that when you're that small, that slender, usually your career doesn't go the way you want it to go. I mean, there are very few people who are that size that make a huge impact, where Jalen Waddle, I think, might be more of a sure thing in their eyes. And, you know, look, he was probably the best wide receiver on that team going into the season. If not for the injury last season at Alabama, maybe he would have had the Heisman season and not Smith. I mean, we never really got to see him. Well, obviously, we saw him in the championship game, but he wasn't anywhere near 100%. But that right there is a notch on his belt as well, in his column, in Jalen Waddle's column, that he was injured. He was going to be a top pick, yet he still came back and played in that national championship game. So I think it's Jalen Waddle, but I wouldn't be upset if they took a chance on Devontae Smith. I think that would be really exciting as well.
Chris, man, I appreciate you taking some time talking a little draft, man. I know the listeners always love that kind of stuff. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Hassel_Chris. You can catch him over at CBS Sports, always hosting and, of course, doing a little play-by-play for Stadium. Chris, you are a smart man. You need 8 jobs in order to survive in this business. Way to go,
for having
baby.
me on, Big O. Keep up the great work.
You got it, my brother. You be good. Thank you. There you go. Chris Hassel. Good stuff there. Look forward to having him on again down the line, and he does some good work there for CBS. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back for the final segment of hour number 2 right here. We get ready for hour number 3, and then we hand it off to Alex Dono and the man of the match right here on OnSideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability to new generations. Reputation, experience, and trust is why clients choose Mr. Glass. Live the future now. Locate a dealer near you today.
If you missed NBA insider Ira Winderman and the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report, you missed this.
Boogie Cousins is the sexy name, but I think they just might as well get someone who is a functional name. They will add another big body. I don't know if it's Boogie, and I'll tell you why, guys. He's been available since February 23rd.
Yeah.
So it's not like 28 other teams haven't had the option as well. That's a little bit concerning to me.
The Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report with NBA insider Ira Winderman, exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
When you're tired of watching the sun damage your furniture or raise your electric bill, it's time to do what we did here at OnSideRadio.com studio. Call A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise. A Shade Above Window Fashions has a great selection of blackout shades to choose from. We can almost create a complete blackout for your bedroom or media room. Call them at 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashion.
At Baptist Health, we are ready.
To serve, to treat,
to safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits
with skilled surgeons,
advanced medicine,
and multidisciplinary teams. We're ready for new arrivals
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way.
With exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health. And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
Can I get a captain?
Captain and what?
Captain and ginger.
I can't hear you.
Captain and
and ginger. He was a captain and ginger. Captain and ginger. He was a captain and ginger.
Captain Morgan, official partner of Major League Soccer.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Baseball fans will go deep into the count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase. Catch the show that talks Marlins and all the big stories in the major leagues. Saturday at 8 a.m. exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we're back. Final segment of hour number 2 here. We thank Chris Hassel from CBS Sports for joining us. And for me, I just find Mac Jones to be the guy that everybody's kind of playing with a little bit. And I agree with him. That's the guy that I would stay away from. I would, Big O, I think at 18 it should be Najee Harris because of his intangibles he poses. He's a running back, dude. I was just telling Tito this. Jacksonville found James Robinson undrafted. I have a hard they need a pass rusher. And to me, either you get the Georgia kid, the Tulsa kid, for you homers out there, they get Jalen Phillips from UM. I just think a pass rusher is a lot harder to find than a running back. You can find Myles Gaskin he's a 7th rounder, I believe, right, Tito? Not 6th? It's either 6th or 7th, whatever. I think it's a 7th. The kid at one point was top 10 in production in the NFL from the line of scrimmage. When it comes to yards, he was in the top 10, and he's a 7th round pick. I love Najee Harris, but you can find running backs if you know how to draft. You don't have to reach for them. And so while I like him and I love Etienne and I love the North Carolina kid too, right? Williams, I think is the kid's name. I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of backs I like in this draft, but to me, if you could get a tackle, if you can get a pass rush, if you can get a shutdown corner, if you can get a number 1 wide receiver, you can get a quarterback. If you have to get one of those 5 most important positions in football, outside of the head coach, outside of the general manager, and Miami's got those too. But if there's somebody, one of those 5 is there at 18, you take them, dude. You take them. I'm sorry. You get another werewolf with Van Ginkel, and then you have Ogba. And you have,
man.
Yeah, I'm good with him. I'm good with Zaven Collins. I'm good with those kind of guys, those outside linebacker, pass rushers, athletic dudes. I love those kind of guys right now for Miami, and there aren't a lot of them, and they will not be available in the second round. Running backs will be available in the second round. Running backs will be available in the third round. You're not going to get pass rushers. They're harder to find in this limited draft when it comes to pass rushers. I'm a bigger Rousseau guy than Phillips. I think people are underestimating Rousseau. I think Gregory Rousseau is going to be a monster at the next level. I think he's going to be a disruptive mofo when it's all said and done. And Calais Campbell was defending Rousseau. You know what? We'll hear from Rousseau when we come back on the other side for hour number 3. I also want to get into a couple of other football notes, too, that I want to get into. So we'll do all of that when we come back. I've got the roundtable topic that I've got to address also. So there's a lot of things to do here for hour number 3. We'll take your phone calls, your tweets, your comments on YouTube. Plenty of stuff to talk about. Hour number 3 is next right here on OnSideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. OnSide Radio. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk. Follow us on social media at OnSide Radio. Inter Miami CF fans, OnSide Radio is the place to guide you through the 2021 season. Go to our website at OnSideRadio.com and download any of our apps to listen to your favorite team. OnSideRadio.com is your home for La Rosa Negra. OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your OnSide Radio E-Report with Michael Christian.
Star Wars fans rejoice. Knights of the Old Republic, one of the best Star Wars video games of all time, is finally getting a remake. BioWare's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic came out in 2003, and it was about a Jedi who turned into a Sith and then turned into whatever you wanted him to be. It was a very interesting game with fantastic mechanics and great dialogue that really gave you power to determine which way the story went, and actually ended up influencing the entire Mass Effect trilogy. Well, the new game is being developed by Asper. It's a new gaming company that kind of helped some of the porting with Knights of the Old Republic in recent years. They don't have a release date yet, but the fact that they're working on this remake is exciting for all of us Star Wars fans.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the OnSide Radio E-Report.
Now streaming online.
OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The OnSide Zone.
And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it.
The OnSide Zone.
I don't care how you win a championship, dude. You can draft it, you can buy it, you can trade for it. Just win, baby.
The OnSide Zone.
You're not Aladdin rubbing the lamp and then Will Smith comes out and you ask him, hey, fix our dolphin problems. And there he goes. No, I'm sorry. It'd be nice if it was that easy, but it's not.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The OnSide Zone with a big O.
All right. I'm laughing here. I see Lisa pops in right as I'm about to go in. She goes, where are all my ladies in the chat? We need equal time, LOL. Shamar Moore is the perfect man if you ask me, but if I had to pick a skinny guy, I'd go with Keith Urban all day, LOL. So there you go. The ladies also, we got to give the ladies their time, okay? So if the ladies want to talk about their perfect guy, I guess because, you know, all the Ashanti talk and everything else that was going on throughout the chat board. So Lisa had to, you know, she had to defend her ladies and get one in there. Pats had Corey Dillon. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think, in fact, I was just talking with Tito about this, that Gregory Rousseau is suffering from the same thing that Jamar Chase was suffering from early on. And you remember when Smith won the Heisman and all that stuff, for the next couple of weeks, it's, Dolphins got to get Smith. Dolphins got to get Smith. Dolphins got to get Smith. And what was I saying on this show the entire time? No. Dolphins got to get Jamar Chase. Okay? I love Smith, but Chase is the better player. And as time has gone on, people have gone back to watch what Chase did. People are now kind of like, okay, they're out of that phase of prisoner of the moment, and they've kind of given him that respect. Gregory Rousseau has not gotten that. And in a way, it's because LSU is still a respectable franchise, a program that is, where Miami isn't. Okay? Miami is a bygone. It's just a middle-of-the-road program at this point in time. And so Gregory Rousseau's accomplishments from last year weren't remembered. So now Jalen Phillips blows up. And Gregory Rousseau, his workout wasn't as dominant as we expected and this and that. Did you watch the sumbitch on the field? Okay? He's unblockable. He is a force. He will be a force at the next level. I think Rousseau is the ultimate steal here, not Phillips. That's me. That's all I'm saying. And I just think it happens that we're prisoners of the moment. And so all of a sudden now you remember Najee Harris and the season he had, and he's leaping over defenders, and he plays some great football, and then all of a sudden we are prisoners of the moment. Miami needs a running back, so now we must marry the 18th pick with a running back. But again, we got to get out of that prisoner of the moment thing. Jalen Phillips is not the better end. It's Gregory Rousseau. Devonta Smith is not the better receiver. It's Jamar Chase. Okay? And Najee Harris is still a running back. And Miami can get running backs all throughout the draft. They don't have to reach at 18 because that's what you're doing at 18. You're reaching at that point. And if you need a pass rusher and there's one there, take him. If you need a tackle and there's one there, take him. You need a number one wide receiver and it's there, you take him. You need a shutdown corner and it's there, you take him. There are so many other positions that are much more important than running back. And we got to kind of, some of us have to reset and how we think about all of this. Because running backs are not necessarily guys that you're supposed to take at the top 30. I mean, at the top of the first round. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I was thinking about this now, and I'm not exactly sure how it breaks down. But I wonder how many top 15 picks are starting in the NFL as running backs, Tito. How many? That would be interesting. Who's the starting running back in Buffalo? Devin Singletary. Where was he picked? 3rd round, I believe, right? Backup, Zach Moss. Where was he picked? 3rd round. You start going around the NFL and you start looking at all these backs and where were they picked? You got Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, right? He's your top running back. Well, then where was Gus Edwards picked? Because he's been there for several years.
The first-round running backs since the last draft are Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Rashad Penny, Sony Michel, Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley in 2015, Melvin Gordon, Trent, and then the last one before that from 2015, the next first-round running back was in 2012, which was Trent Richardson.
You know how many busts there are in there?
Yeah, there's quite a few.
There's a lot of busts in there. A lot. And the Todd Gurley pick was good for a few years, and then he blew out his knee. And he's never been the same guy again. And he was great for a couple of years. They took J.K. Dobbins, didn't they? Didn't Baltimore take J.K. Dobbins?
Second round.
Second round. Pittsburgh doesn't always get their running backs in the first round. Right? So what do they have? Benny Snell? Anthony McFarland? I mean, it just I don't know if you really need to reach for a running back so early in the draft.
I feel like another point, is that without even getting into the
Jonathan Taylor was what, a second-round pick?
Yes, he was. Without even getting into the idea of first-round running back, what is the drop-off from Najee Harris to Etienne or Javonte Williams? Like, how big is that drop-off?
Not that much.
Not that much, right?
No.
Whereas you can add somebody like an Ojulari, a Rousseau,
an absolute game changer.
Collins, like Zaven Collins, potentially, who steps in and probably starts right away.
Absolute game changer.
And that's not to discredit the running backs either, because they're talented.
They get rid of Todd Gurley, and didn't they bring in a second-round pick in Cam Akers? And they have a third-round pick in Darrell Henderson backing him up?
Yeah. The Dolphins signed the other guy, Malcolm, the third-string running back for the
Malcolm Brown.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah, Malcolm Brown. But that's my point. We have to stop being prisoners of the moment, and we have to look at for what it really is.
And
I mean, the Niners, we got Matt Breida, but they also have Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
And what was the third guy that they had? Was Tevin Coleman 2 years ago. Now they've got like some Jeffrey Wilson guy and Wayne Gallman that came from the Giants, who was also a late-round pick. They're not investing in these high-ass picks as running backs.
Well, not only that, when you take
to.
somebody in the first round, you kind of get put into the spot of you're going to have to sign into an extension.
Right.
Right? And I mean, Saquon Barkley's torn his ACL. That's a tough situation. He's still an insanely talented back, but committing a long-term contract to him is still a dangerous game. Christian McCaffrey.
So you'd rather find Alvin Kamara in the third round and then build on that.
Right.
By the way, the Green Bay Packers have a pretty good running back that, they were talking about the Dolphins signing. Aaron Jones was picked in the 5th round. And then they backed it up with A.J. Dillon last year in the 2nd round. Folks, this mental masturbation about, we got to have a running back in the 1st round. No. If you know how to draft, you'll find it later on, Bren. You'll find the guy in the 2nd and the 3rd round and the 4th round. You'll find the guy. You don't always have to reach in the 1st, especially when you have all kinds of needs. Now, Tito, here's where I take Najee Harris at number 18. The Dolphins are a running back away from going to the Super Bowl.
They're not right now.
And they're not.
They're
right.
not.
And they're not. So if they were a running back away, that their defense was awesome, the offense was terrific, that the one thing they lacked was a really good playmaker at running back that they needed badly to kind of complete their team. Okay, I'm taking Najee Harris at 18 because I don't have a need for tackle. I don't have a need for defensive end. I don't have a need for a number 1 wide receiver. I don't have a need for a quarterback, and I don't have a need for a shutdown corner. So since I don't have a need for the top 5 most important positions in pro football, then I'll take my running back. That's when I'm taking a running back at 18. But if not, I'm going to get myself another positional player that I desperately need to really shore up this team. Somebody made a point, I forgot which one of you, because a bunch of texts have come in, that the Cowboys sucked last year. They had all kinds of issues, and Zeke did nothing for them. And he's right. After all the BS we talk about with the Dallas line and Zeke and all that, and then Dak goes down, and they could not recover from Dak. And it's not like they could just go out there and power run and then make life easier for the quarterback to fill in, whether it's the Red Rifle or anybody else, to throw a couple passes off of play action. There was no play action because the running back didn't sell out. Tampa Bay last year picked up Leonard Fournette after he was already released from Jacksonville. Several injuries, by the way, as a bust, and it helped them out. But they also have Ronald Jones that they got in the 2nd round. You know what I mean? We gotta get off this train like, oh my God, we gotta have a running back. And you can get running backs. Running backs can be found all over the place. Chris Carson is a 7th round pick. Rashad Penny is a 1st round pick, and he's been a bust. DJ Dallas, they picked up in the 4th round, Seattle. Travis Homer, they picked up in the 6th. He's more of a special teamer. But they also have Alex Collins, too. They got a plethora of backs, and they're not and the one guy that they drafted high never worked out. The other guys are much more productive. I mean, I can continue bouncing around the league for you and finding other guys. Okay? Antonio Gibson, how did he do for Washington last year there, Tito? Was Antonio Gibson pretty good?
Yep.
Third round. So, I mean, I just want to kind of bring you to reality of what the running back position really is and why you don't need to sell out like some people think you need to sell out. How's Miles Sanders there, Tito? Is he all right for Philadelphia?
Yep.
Second round pick. Get my drift? So if Najee Harris wants to last the 36, then yeah. But I'm not taking him at 18. I'm sorry. Just not doing that. DeAndre Swift was a second-round pick for Detroit. And then they signed Jamal Williams, who was the backup to Aaron Jones in Green Bay, and also a late-round pick. Oh, and Kerryon Johnson, their second-round pick, the big back. Hasn't really turned out to be anything. I'm just saying, I could just go on and on and on and talk about different players all throughout the league and where they were drafted. David Montgomery, drafted in the third round for Chicago. Tariq Cohen has been a nice little change of pace back, fourth rounder. You know, we can do this all day if you want. That's why I'm just saying that, Arizona found David Johnson. He did a great job, then got injured, and he wasn't a first-round pick. And then they've had Chase Edmonds, who's a fourth-round pick, and has done actually a serviceable job for them. Pretty good back. But again, they didn't need to invest in anything that expensive at that spot. So I hope I've kind of shed light on why the running back at 18 is probably an overvalued position at that point. Unless we are talking about something so dynamic, so freakish. But when you do that, you're talking top 10 usually. Okay? All right. Nate P says 18 should be for best position available or best player available. You are correct, sir. And it has to be one of those five. Okay? I'm not taking a guard. I'm not taking a safety. I'm not, it has to be the quarterback, which they don't need, left tackle, or right tackle in this case, because you have Tua. Tackle, pass rusher, number one receiver, shutdown corner. That's what I'm taking at 18. And that's the beauty, too. One of the things that we just talked about in the first 2 hours, a lot of the pass rushers are going to go after probably the top 10 picks. That's how fuzzy it is this year with pass rushers. You're not going to have a pass rusher in the top 10 probably. It's crazy. So Miami at 18 will have one of the better pass rushers fall to them. Take advantage of it. Let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. Start your morning every day at 8 a.m. with Toasted Sports. Toast covers all the local sports stories while providing some great Miami Hurricanes insight. Download, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Toasted Sports, 8 to 10 a.m. only at OnSideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Fish fans, time to reel in the latest news in baseball with OnSideRadio.com's Marlins Minute. Here's Alex Aguirre.
The Marlins split their two-game series against the Baltimore Orioles with a win yesterday 3-0. The Fish were led by Trevor Rogers, who pitched 7 innings for the first time in his career to go along with 8 strikeouts and only 1 walk. Rogers now has the most strikeouts by a left-handed pitcher in Marlins history in their first 11 big league starts. Sandy Leon and Lewis Brinson stepped up in place for the injured Starling Marte and Jorge Alfaro, and they went for a combined 3 for 7 with a run. The Fish are back in action today to kick off a 3-city, 10-game road trip starting off against the San Francisco Giants for a 4-game series. Daniel Castano will be on the mound for Miami against Aaron Sanchez for the Giants. Sanchez has a 0-0 record with a 6.00 ERA and 7 strikeouts in his career against the Marlins. First pitch is at 9:45. Let's go Fish.
Keep up with the latest on the Miami Marlins by subscribing on most platforms by searching OnSide Radio.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. Take their famous Boot Tour Challenge, and there's now outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations or pickup at 954-785-7565. So get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach to Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodiasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodiasDental.com.
It's toast. Smartest thing I did last year? Called B&T Windows and Doors and had PGT custom windows and doors installed in my house. Listen, it's spring. That means before you know it, we'll be hearing about the tropics churning. That means you need to get your home and family protected today. Call B&T right now, and they'll get you installed ASAP with the best in the business, PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126 or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S. Tell them you heard about them on OnSide Radio.
You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. Save it on your cell phone, 844-416-8123. No better place to send your comments, ask questions, win prizes. OnSideRadio.com, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Oh, I can't wait to just go to a show and jam. Oh, God, I need to rock out. I need to rock out so badly. Oh, need it, man. Need it. All right, welcome back. Hey, by the way, that was really cool by the Floyd family. Giving Mark Davis some love because there were way too many idiots going crazy with Mark Davis, tweeting out, "I can breathe." I thought, now that the more I think about it, it's a great line by Mark Davis. I was thinking, maybe not perfect, but it was an honest line. It was what we all felt. If you're not lying to if you want to lie to yourself, you can go ahead and lie to yourself. But we had our collective breaths holding. And we were all in fear because we've seen this story so many times, okay? And I mentioned it the other day, like since I was a kid with McDuffie, and McDuffie was beaten to death by 4 or 5 cops with flashlights, and we had the obviously the riots here in South Florida, and they were obviously found not guilty. And it's been going on forever. And so for us to get a guilty verdict, it allowed us to breathe. It allowed us to exhale. It allowed us to relax a little bit and say, finally, we're starting to get things right. That when crimes are committed by criminals, they need to be charged. Okay? When crimes are committed by police officers, they certainly need to be charged. Okay? So if we're going to charge criminals, we need to charge criminal activity with police officers. And we never do. So I'm glad that the Floyd family, they came out, they released a statement, and I thought Mark Davis deserved it. Listen, I am not here to defend Mark Davis and that terrible haircut of his, okay? But in this case, I understood what he meant. When it's all said and done, he says, on behalf of our family, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to the Las Vegas Raiders organization and its leadership for their support of our family and for our nation's ongoing pursuit of justice and equality for all. Floyd's brother, Philanese Floyd, said, now more than ever, we must come together and as one and continue on this fight. For the first time in almost a year, our family has taken a breath. And I know that goes for so many across the nation and the globe as well. Let's take a breath together in honor of my big brother who couldn't. Let's do it for George. So kudos to the Floyd family, because you had so many idiots going after Mark Davis that he kind of needed. You know, those people need to hear from the Floyd family. And I think those of us with some common sense, yesterday I was on with JT the Brick. And JT, I'm usually on his show 2 or 3 times a year, whether it's a Dolphins-Raiders game or leading up to the draft, that kind of stuff. He usually gets me on his show. And we talked Dolphins and the draft yesterday. And then I closed with that comment about Mark Davis, because I was actually, supportive of Mark Davis and his tweet, because common sense, you can understand what he's trying to say, because I think all of us kind of felt the same way. So that's just my small political comment for the day. I don't like to get too much into politics here on OnSide Radio, but I did feel, since it is sports related and Mark Davis was involved, I felt like we should actually address that. The other thing is the OnSide, the roundtable that we do here at OnSide Radio, and we always pose a question to the folks out there, and the question is about the Miami Marlins. I was about to say Florida Marlins, by the way, the Miami Marlins, and so the question on that I posed to everybody was, while the Marlins approach 500 and continue their surprise play, has the young starting pitching staff and Jazz Chisholm made them must-watch TV every single night? Now, I was listening to the answers of Toast and then of Kai, okay? And I also realized that I was listening to the answers of a Red Sox fan and a Mets fan, okay? So neither one of them really looked at the Marlins as must-see TV, but then again, I don't know when they would, because it's not their favorite team. I disagree with them, okay? I think the Marlins have turned into must-see TV. I think when you have an opportunity to watch a really young pitching staff come to life, like Sandy Alcantara, who's got 28 Ks in 24 innings, Travis Rogers, who pitches tonight. Doesn't he pitch tonight? Am I right here?
No, he pitched yesterday.
No, he pitched yesterday, actually, and won in a 3-0 game. That's right. That's what it is. It's Castano. Actually, Castano had a really nice outing the other day. And so Travis Rogers has got 31 strikeouts in 22 innings. Pablo Lopez, who's actually pitched well, he had one bad outing, has got 25 strikeouts in 21 innings. I just told you their top 3 pitchers have pitched 67 innings. And in those 67 innings, okay, they have 74 strikeouts. that sounds like must-see TV to me. And no Sixto Sanchez yet. I don't know about you, Tito. But, when you got 70-something strikeouts in 60-something innings, that's pretty impressive to me. Is that impressive to you, Tito? I'm just saying. Is it?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. So I think they've turned into must-see TV. Okay? I think watching Jazz Chisholm do his thing, I think is a lot of fun. I think Aguilar is turning himself into a really nice player overall. Marte is fun. Rojas is fun. Dickerson is fun. Brian Anderson is probably one of my favorite players on this team, and he hasn't even woken up yet. Now, are they the showcase team or anything like that around the majors? No, they're not the Washington Nationals, and, they're not any of these marquee teams, the Dodgers and all that. I get all of that. But if you're a Marlins fan, if you're here in South Florida and you're a sports fan, okay, I get it. What happened in the past with Laurie, all of that, we can't throw that burden and all those mistakes and everything else on Jeter and Sherman. They can only do what they've done so far since they've taken over the team. They've fixed the minor leagues now. They have collected some pitchers. They are now collecting some bats too. And if they start developing these guys, we'll see if they sign them. But for now, I think in my book, they have become must-see TV. Okay? Even the Castano kid that is pitching tonight, he's done a pretty good job overall too. Now, he's in his last outing, he pitched pretty well. Let's see what he does tonight. But remember, they still haven't gotten Sixto yet. And Sixto is electrifying. So if you're going to tell me Alcantara, Rogers, Lopez, and Sixto are your top 4 guys, I'm good with that, man. I'm good with that. I love watching great pitching when it comes to baseball. That is a lot of fun. So I think the Marlins have turned into must-see TV. Now, you got to love baseball. You got to be a Marlins fan, okay? And you got to understand what's going on right now with the Marlins. And I think you can appreciate what they're doing at this point in time. I'm intrigued with the Castano kid. I tripped out a little bit because I even didn't realize it wasn't a 3-game set against the Orioles, and it was only 2. And so, like, today I was like, whoa, they start a new series today, and they just played the Giants and beat them 2 out of 3. So now they start a 4-game set with the Giants, and they're like, holy crap, I didn't realize that Baltimore was in a 3-game series. I was even this morning I was like, whoa. Wait a minute, they don't play the Orioles again. So, but I think to me, they're must-see, man. I really enjoy watching the Marlins right now. They're fun to watch. They really are. Let's see. Well, you guys got another conversation going on there. Okay, all right. That is interesting. All right. There's a lot of Omar talk going on the board. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in, we can open up the lines for you at 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. If you want to get in on the program, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. We'll come back for the second to last segment of the program. We do want to tell you a little bit about M&S Air Conditioning. I love Mike and Greg, great people at M&S Air Conditioning. They installed a high-efficiency polarized air filter here. And what I love about that polarized air filter is it's going to destroy all the biological contaminants in the air. You feel the air is cleaner. And listen, it's so important, folks, because nowadays it's not just about the COVID stuff. It's colds and all that kind of stuff. People are coughing and wheezing and stuff gets in the air. And we've all watched it, right? As stuff gets in the air. So if it gets in the air when they take off their masks and those kind of things, you want something that is filtering the air and cleaning it so it takes care of your employees. We installed one in my home to make sure that our dogs and everybody in the house is safe. And so this is why I'm telling you got to do the same thing. And they've got preventative maintenance plans also at M&S Air Conditioning. You're going to beat up your air now over the next couple of months because it is going to get hot and humid. Are you sure it is ready for that summer heat? Call M&S Air Conditioning, 954-421-3680. Tell them that Big O sent you, 954-421-3680 for M&S Air Conditioning.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can now watch OnSide Radio daily by subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Search OnSide Radio. Log on, subscribe, rate, and review OnSide Radio on YouTube and Twitch. Find out why Big O has a face for radio. OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's home for real sports talk. Miami Dolphins fans, join us for OnSideRadio.com's NFL Draft Party at Sports Grill in Miami, 11481 Southwest 40th Street, Bird Road. Join Big O and Alex Dono for this two-night event starting on Thursday, April 29th at 7:30 p.m. and Friday, day 2 at 6:30. Drink and food specials, giveaways, and the best damn draft party in South Florida. Join us for a two-night event as OnSideRadio.com and Sports Grill on Bird Road bring you the best NFL draft party on the planet. Connect with OnSideRadio.com by downloading the Radio.net app. What happens to you after that is not our responsibility. Follow South Florida's sports leader on social media at OnSide Radio. Look at the pics. See the guys, even though you may not enjoy it. At OnSide Radio. Insta at OnSide Radio. All social media at OnSide Radio.
Enter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Sean Stanley hosts the Square Circle Digest.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. I'm the man.
Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide. OnSideRadio.com.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
Miami Heat getting the win over the San Antonio Spurs last night. They win 107-87. Heat 31-28 on the year. They take on the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night at 7:30. Hawks likely without Trae Young at point guard. Miami Marlins split the first two games of the series with the Orioles. They got the victory yesterday 3-0. Trevor Rogers picking up the win with 7 scoreless innings for Rogers. Marlins are back in action tonight. Daniel Castano is on the mound against the San Francisco Giants. First pitch is set for 9:45. Florida Panthers back on the ice tonight. They take on the Carolina Hurricanes, a battle of first place in the Central Division. Puck drop is slated for 7 p.m. And folks, remember Saturday, Inter Miami travels to take on the Philadelphia Union. You can join Big O and Alex Dono at Dangerous Minds Brewing for the pregame show starting at 7 o'clock. And Chris Whittingham, Thomas Rongan, Fernando Fiore with the call at 8 p.m. right here on OnSide Radio. This is South Florida's home for local sports talk, OnSideRadio.com.
Now streaming online. OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
All righty. Hey, don't forget, man, you can dial us up anywhere. 888-441-4623. It's a beautiful thing having a toll-free number, right? I mean, do some of these losing sports talk stations in South Florida have that? Nah, we do. That's why Jordan in Canada can connect with us here at OnSide Radio. Jordan, how you doing from the Great White North?
I'm doing all right. It's a little cold up here, but anyway, just wanted to chime in on the Dolphins. I'm an ardent Miami Dolphins supporter, always have been.
Thank you.
I like a lot of Chris Greer and what he's done. Obviously, the Tunsil trade was commendable. Okay, he got a lot of draft capital. However, I was really averse to them moving down to 12 and then trading back up to 6. Okay, I think they should have stayed at 3 and drafted Kyle Pitts.
Well, what about if they end up with Kyle Pitts at 6?
They very well may. You're right.
So
okay,
so then let's wait till it actually happens before we actually complain about it. Because remember, it was all suck for Tua. Oh my God, you're winning too many games. You'll never end up with Tua, and they ended up with Tua. So let's not overreact yet, my man. Maybe they do end up with Pitts at 6. And all of a sudden,
I hope so.
Then all of a sudden, Greer ends up looking like a genius because he would have picked Pitts at 3, Pitts at 6, but he ends up picking up an extra first and moving up around from a 4th to a 3rd for going down 3 spots.
And I hope that I'm wrong, and he does look like a genius because I want Miami to get Pitts and I want them to get draft capital. I'm not so sure that he's there at 6, and the doomsday scenario would be Chase is gone too, and then what are they going to do? I mean, they're going to trade back again? That's all. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it, my brother. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate you listening out there in the Great White North. All I would say is let's wait for that on Thursday night. Then Thursday night, people like Jordan, if they want to question it, hey, man, it's a free country, so I think you're also free over there too. So you can say what you want. And I get it if you're dead set on Pitts and Chase, which I love both, as you all know. I just have a lot more faith in the people that are there, that if they have other plans. They're not thinking, oh my God, we're going to get Pitts or Chase, and we're done, we're good. No. They have to think at 6. Okay, what happens if Pitts and Chase are gone? What's our next plan? You got to have alternate plans because things change. But hey, listen, Jordan might be right. Now, let me ask you something, Tito. I don't know, but does this sound to you like an Alex Dono family member? A hospital employee in Italy has been accused of skipping work on full pay for 15 years. The man is alleged to have stopped turning up to work at Siaccio Hospital in the southern city of Catanzaro in 2005. He's now being investigated for fraud, extortion, and abuse of office, the Italian news agency ANSA reported. He reportedly was paid about $464,000 in euros in total over the years. He is thought not to have been working. 6 managers at the hospital are also being investigated in connection with the alleged absenteeism. The arrests are the results of a lengthy police investigation into absenteeism and suspected fraud in the Italian public sector. The employee was a civil servant and was assigned to a job in the hospital in 2005. It was at that point he stopped going into work. The police have also accused him of threatening his manager to stop her from filing a disciplinary report against him. That manager later retired, police added, and his ongoing absence was never noticed by her successor or human resources. My man collected a check for 15 years, bro. It never went to work. Now, is that a Alex Dono family member there in Italy? I'm just wondering, because it sounds like it, right?
That's pretty impressive. That's honestly impressive.
It is impressive. It is until the 15-year run ends. So when we have the crossover, we got to ask Alex Dono, is this one of your family members getting in trouble over there in Italy? That is a rig of all rigs, bro. You're getting a check every week for 15 years for something you're not doing whatsoever. That is freaking awesome, dude. That is absolutely amazing. Did you ever watch the show How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, I did.
I actually love the show. It kind of ran out of gas towards the end.
ending sucked. The ending sucked.
Yeah. The last year or two, it wasn't nearly as good. But Hollywood has no creativity whatsoever. So they're going to do a series sequel. It's called How I Met Your Father. It's been ordered by Hulu.
Nope.
And Hilary Duff is the attached star to it. In the near future, Sophie Duff is telling her son the story of how she met his father. A story that, of course, goes back to the year of 2021, where Sophie and her close-knit group of friends are in the midst of figuring out who they are and what they want out of life and how to fall in love in the age of dating apps and limitless options. According to individuals with knowledge of the project, it remains unclear how and if the new show will tie into the original. It's, now they just constantly reach in Hollywood, dude. They can't think of crap on their own. They've got it's all sequels, it's all spin-offs, it's all remakes. That's the most famous one now. Let's remake every damn movie that's ever been made, pretty much. Oh, and I did not play this sound for you because we talked about Gregory Rousseau and how he's kind of fallen in the draft a little, and I think it's silly. I really do. It's funny because I think Phillips' rise is a little deceiving, and I would not take a chance on him because of the history. And yet Rousseau doesn't play, and everybody forgets him, and because he didn't have this great workout, and I can remember players all throughout over the last 20 years of guys that did not work out well and then went on to have amazing careers. So Rousseau has been compared to Calais Campbell, and Calais had some high praise for him too. Here's Gregory Rousseau reacting off of what Calais Campbell and his praise of his play.
You talk about Manny Lawson. I read an article where you compared yourself to Chandler Jones, being asked a question about Chandler Jones because of the similar body style. Who do you think you're most alike that plays in the NFL now?
I'd say either Chandler Jones because we're both long-limbed, striders. We're good at using our length. But I'd also say Calais Campbell because he condenses. He plays the 3 tech, 0, 5 to 9. So he plays all over defensive line, and he's done that throughout his career. So those are two great comparisons for me, I feel like.
I saw that Calais Campbell had some praise for you and said he could be better than me. Now, when you hear something like that from Calais Campbell, he could be better than me, it's got to make you feel good, but it's also got to make you feel a little pressure to live up to that kind of an expectation.
I'd say more than anything, it really just motivates me, For him to talk about me like that is awesome. It's a blessing, but now I just got to go out there and prove him right. So I got to make sure that every day I'm getting better, improving in something, whether it's mental, physical, anything. So hopefully one day I'll be better than him. That's my goal for sure, because he's a heck of a player. He's amazing.
So it's nice to see Calais backing his brother, and I love this for Gregory Rousseau. I love that people are doubting him because I watched the kid play, like a lot of you. But the problem is, because he didn't play this year, too many have forgotten what he was the year before and what a monster the guy is. And I think that that's the part that people are overlooking. And when he goes to the NFL and then he gets taught by NFL coaches and he gets to steal things from his teammates on the D-line that he gets to learn from them too. Yeah, and I mean that in a good way, by the way, that he gets to take, those tips from the guys. I just think Rousseau is set to be a freaking monster at the next level. I really do. And there's a lot of fuel in his tank now, dude. People are dissing him. He's going to fall in the draft. And if he does really fall in the draft, some team is going to get lucky. In fact, again, I was with JT the Brick yesterday on his show, and I told JT, hey, man, if the Raider Nation ends up with that kid, you guys are going to get a hell of a player. Whoever drafts him, Miami, the Raiders, I won't be nearly as excited if they take Jalen Phillips at 18 as I would be if they take Gregory Rousseau. Put it that way, okay? The Phillips one, I'm going to look at it with a fish eye. I'm going to say, oh, you guys took a major chance here. Maybe it works out. Maybe the kid can stay away from concussions and and have a career, but I would not touch Jalen Phillips with a 10-foot pole. Gregory Rousseau, I would happily draft that guy.
Oh, he was 19 years old, figuring out how to play college football.
Dominating college football.
Yeah, right. But, like, it was his first major action.
I know.
When he led the country in sacks.
Yeah.
And so I can't help but feel like he's so, like, you can say, oh, he's raw. That just means that there's so much untapped potential there.
Amen.
Right?
I know. I'm with you. I find it ridiculous, to be honest with you.
And to think if he just plays the season, and he had a great I don't know if people know, his mom was a direct frontline worker at a hospital during COVID-19.
That's right.
So he had every reason to not want to play because, hey, I got to protect my investment, right?
Yep.
But if he did play last season, maybe Jalen Phillips doesn't have the stock he has. And if he does, and he has, 7-8 sacks this past college football season, he's probably still a high first rounder, right? Maybe not top 10, but top 15, top 20 for sure.
With that line and those other two guys on it, he would have had
double-digit sacks again.
Easy. 15, 20 sacks he would have had easily. We go to the break on this. Alex Dono. I'm so proud of my uncle for skipping 15 years of work. Back with more right here on OnSideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability to new generations. Reputation, experience, and trust is why clients choose Mr. Glass. Live the future now. Locate a dealer near you today.
If you missed Chirping the Cats Radio with David Dwork, then you missed this.
Through the 2017-18 season, Barkov was 54% success rate in shootouts, 19 for 35. 19 shootout goals through the first 4 or 5 years of his career. Since then, Bupkis. I mean, he used to be the guy that came out with some of the most inventive, crazy moves. You remember that one where he slapped his stick on the ice with just leaving the puck alone for going backhand? I want to say it was on Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean, he's turned goalies inside out. He can use a move more than once. Clearly, somebody told him that about the backhand move. Seems to be the go-to. And I mean, I asked Barkov about it a couple of weeks ago, right before the season started. I asked him, dude, you've been struggling. What's the deal? And he said, goalies maybe got in my head a little bit. I was thinking that they were reading me. I was trying to read them. Shook his confidence. He said it. Running out of moves is not really an excuse when you've got the skills that you can pull off basically whatever you want.
Chirping the Cats Radio with David Dwork. Saturday mornings 10 to 11 at OnSideRadio.com.
Can I get a captain?
Captain and what?
Captain and Ginger.
I can't hear you.
Captain and Ginger. He was a captain and Ginger. Captain and Ginger. He was a captain and Ginger.
Captain Morgan, official partner of Major League Soccer.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
Hey, it's Big O. Air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning conditioning at ac-florida.com.
At Baptist Health, we are ready
to serve, to treat,
to safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits
with skilled surgeons,
advanced medicine,
and multidisciplinary teams.
We're ready for new arrivals
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
You're listening to OnSideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station.
All right, welcome back. Good show today. Ian Cummings from Pro Football Network was excellent. Chris Hassel also from CBS Sports. Good stuff there as always. Dono is now joining us as we get ready for his show and Man of the Match taking over.
I heard you mention How I Met Your Father. God, that sounds terrible.
Is that terrible?
Oh, it's like, and they keep doing that. They made like one of the sitcoms I would watch growing up on TGIF was Boy Meets World. A while back, they made Girl Meets World. They did that corny-ass Full House sequel on Netflix.
Yes.
They have no original ideas.
None.
They're like remaking shows, making sequels of shows. Come up with a new idea, please.
Yeah, and by the way, your uncle is a badass.
On 15 years. In Italy, not surprising whatsoever. Not whatsoever. I mean, there are so many.
Some tells me that guy, too, also has vaccine. Not everybody's vaccinated. Most people are not vaccinated in that place. I bet you that guy's rigged everything.
Yeah, probably the only time he ever actually showed up to his workplace was to go get his vaccine doses there.
They
probably had like company-wide vaccines. Who are you? Wait, you're on the payroll still? But it doesn't surprise me whatsoever in Italy because there are so many of these like government jobs and like state-run jobs, and it like the people who work in these jobs treat it like a joke, and they have all these bureaucracies, so nothing ever gets done. The paperwork never gets sorted out. It's a real problem over there, man. Places like Italy, Greece, France, a story like that does not surprise me whatsoever.
So I always like to bring some kind of combat sports to the crossover sometimes. So Mike Coppinger, who does a good job of covering boxing.
Yeah, he's good.
He tweets out sources. Al Heyman acquired rights to Mayweather Paul for Jake Paul and is using the event as leverage to try to obtain a bigger deal from CBS Showtime, with Fox deal set to expire this year.
That sounds like smart business.
So Leonard Ellerbe, who is the manager of Mayweather.
Yeah, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions.
Retweets, "You're just making shit up." What the F are you talking about? None of this is true.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. His sources hung him out to dry.
Yeah,
that's rough. Because like you said, he's a good reporter.
Right.
He didn't just make that up.
Right. So whoever it was gave him terrible info. And Ellerbe is not going to be lying about this. He's not going to be saying it's an outright lie. If there was some truth to it, then he'd correct him on what was wrong.
Yeah.
But, man, he trashed the dude like that. And by the way, does this guy really want to fight Mayweather? You're going to look really stupid. Now you'll make a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's a
make
good
a lot
thing.
of money. Is it Jake Paul or Logan Paul who's fighting Mayweather?
I think it's Jake Paul.
I can never I know Jake Paul's the one.
Logan.
I think it's Logan, right?
It's Logan.
Yeah, Logan's the bigger one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
Logan.
even though I think Jake Paul is the better boxer, so I would actually rather watch Jake Paul versus Mayweather because I think he's a better boxer than Logan Paul.
That's some crazy stuff. What do you got going on?
Oh man, well we're gonna talk some Dolphins NFL draft with Louis D. Sung from the 5 Reasons Sports
Good
Network in the
job.
3 o'clock hour. We got Ira Winderman for his weekly spot today,
There we
talking
go.
some NBA. Tyler Hero had a nice performance yesterday. You know what? You play like that, you can endorse as many cereals and as many Chipotle bowls and have rappers make as many songs about you as you want to if you play like you played last night.
Ask Ira if he thinks the talk got to him. because it
I'm
blew
going
up
to.
nationally.
I'm going to. And
Because
we're
Inside the Paint blew up nationally.
Yeah. And speaking of boxing, I'm going to have professional boxer Omar Figueroa on. He's fighting on the pay-per-view main card of Ruiz versus Areola in a couple weeks. So he's going to be on. Omar Figueroa is going to join us. So that's going to be really good.
There you go. So you keep it locked right here, man. Man of the match will dominate from 3 to 6.